W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at whmsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
Mayhem is everywhere.
I'm your new bangs, and you can't stop staring at me. That's it. Just tilt the rearview mirror over here. And while you're checking me out more times than a library book, your car is wandering into that lane over there. More bangs? Neat. And if you've got cut rate insurance, you could be paying for this yourself. So get Allstate.
Call Martinsburg Allstate agent Gary Kelly today at 304-263-4596.
It's time for the excitement of NCAA Division II football, featuring the Shepherd Rams and the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Today's play-by-play coverage is brought to you by Smallwood Small Insurance Group, W. Harley Miller Systems, Chris Miller and the Dutch Miller Automotive Group, the Marys Group of Ameriprise Financial Advisors, Rocks Local Markets, Parsons Ford, Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers, Bechtel Jewelers, CMA Honda of Winchester, Brown Funeral Home and Cremations, Orsini's Home Store, Hagerstown Ford, the Berkeley County Health Department, Modern Realty Results, and the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm. Standing by is our TV10 broadcast team. So let's head to the field and get today's pregame show underway.
Good afternoon and welcome to Edinboro, Pennsylvania, as the Shepherd University Rams head into Week 2 to take on the Edinboro Fighting Scots. The Fighting Scots coming in at 0-1, and Shepherd sitting at 1-0, winning a thriller over Southern Connecticut State 27-26. But there are some concerns on this young Shepherd team, in particular on the offensive side of the ball. Last year, Shepherd beat Southern Connecticut 48-7, so to come down to the last minute has some people concerned. This Edinboro team fell to the Rams 41-7 a year ago, but as we know, Travis, this is a more experienced Edinboro team, and on paper, Shepherd still has probably a more talented team, or at least in our eyes, based on what we know about this group. But it looks like Edinboro should be able to put up a much more competitive game this time around with the changes for Shepherd and the experience on the other side. This could be a breakout game for the Rams. As coaches typically note, the teams make the biggest jumps from Week 1 to Week 2.
Absolutely, and you mentioned there's so many new faces on that Shepherd Rams sideline. Not only are they new to the field, they're also new to be teammates to one another, because that's something that they're going to have to develop throughout the course of years, having that on-field chemistry. And you can practice as much as you want during practice, but you're really not going to develop that feel and that nuance until you get out there in the middle of a game and then kind of get a feel for your teammate and see what type of competitor he is. And that's what the Rams were able to do. It was a good test. It was a good team. It wasn't something like they were going out there and playing poorly. Southern Connecticut, they came to play. And it was a hard-fought game, and it was something that Coach McCook talked about at halftime. You want to see how your team's going to respond to adversity. And at the end of the day, a win is a win is a win. And sometimes you're going to have to win ugly. They're all not going to be blowouts. So for a young team, a team that's inexperienced playing with one another, to go out there and pull it together and make those type of plays down the stretch, you have to take a lot more positives out of that as opposed to negatives. And you mentioned Edinboro. They're coming in, their experienced group, they're on the opposite end of the spectrum. They have so many returners coming back, a lot of familiarity coming back. Now, they took one on the chin last week going up against Duquesne, but they're at home, going up against a familiar opponent. And last year, they showed Shepherd a lot of different looks. The score's kind of deceiving, 41-7. Yes, it was a blowout, but Edinboro was able to do some things, have some success, move the ball somewhat, but they just weren't able to punch it in when they needed to. But it was a team that was able to do some things as far as formations and shifts, and rarely gave that Shepherd defense some problems. So this group is coming in poised to possibly steal one here at home versus Shepherd. So if Shepherd doesn't go out there with a mindset of taking care of business and minimizing those mistakes, the Fighting Scots could come away with a win today.
Something interesting to note too, Travis. Edinboro last week started Matt Carlisle against Duquesne. He is listed second on the depth chart that we were given, but it's an or, and he's taking most of the first-team reps right now. in pregame warm-up. So it looks like we're going to see Matt Carlisle at quarterback. Last year we saw Isaac Bernard, pretty similar size, a little bit more running ability, though, with Carlisle. And it could be what gives Edinboro an edge is having that running quarterback, as Shepherd struggled with that in the past.
And that's something that you ask any defensive coordinator that has them up late at nights and have them having gray hairs worrying about a quarterback that can scramble, because most defenses aren't built to account for that quarterback's running ability. And you mentioned Matt Carlisle's size, 6'5", 225 pounds. So it's going to take more than a stiff breeze to take him down. And you add the athleticism onto that, he can be a real problem if he's able to get outside of contain and get downfield and make something happen with his legs. If you look at his numbers, nothing's going to really jump off the sheet at you because it was only 25 yards net. That's because he got sacked 4 times. That's going to be huge for the Fighting Scots today, is how well that they're going to be able to protect the quarterback. They gave up a total of 6 sacks last week versus Duquesne. And Shepherd, that's another area of the team where they're looking to reload, because they lost a lot of firepower up front between Kyle Smith and Malik Holloway. They don't have those guys on the edge that can just get to the quarterback with impunity. So right now they're still tinkering with those combinations up front on that defensive line to see who's going to be able to get effective pressure. So that's certainly going to be a game within a game today, and could really point to who's going to come out on top today.
We'll take our first break here on the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. W. Harley Miller Systems providing custom integration services like home and office automation, home theater networking, audio-video distribution, and more. Call 304-350-1931 or visit WHMsystems.com. Take a 2-minute break. On the other side of that break, we'll hear from the head coach of the Shepherd University Rams, Ernie McCook.
The Honda HR-V, CR-V, Pilot, Passport, and Ridgeline. They all have one thing in common. They never back off from a challenge. Available with all-wheel drive, the Honda SUV lineup has the performance you can count on and the capability to amaze. It's no wonder Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com named Honda the 2022 Best Value brand.
CMA's Honda of Winchester, 3985 Valley Pike. CMA, moving lives forward.
Based on 2022 brand image awards from Kelley Blue Book, visit KBB.com for more information.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%. Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Ollie's VIP North Side is the best spot to catch all your favorite teams. Join us Monday for Dollar Wings and Monday Night Football, Thursdays on the patio for the Cornhole Tourney, Friday Night Lights with happy hour specials, or Saturdays during or after the college games for Steak Night. Get a ribeye or New York steak for just $26.95. Ollie's has great food and drink menus too, along with 17 TVs to watch any game of your choice from anywhere at the bar or their outdoor patio and fire pit. So stop by and see for yourself today at 36 Veronica Drive in Martinsburg. That's Ollie's VIP North Side. We'll see you for the game.
Hi, Crescia Hornby here. Larry DeMarco, broker of Modern Realty Results, believes he has some of the best real estate agents in the Eastern Panhandle. Agents at Modern Realty Results have years of experience and knowledge of the local real estate market. Agents within the office work as a team to provide quality customer service. We strive to always ensure client satisfaction through handling every transaction with honesty and integrity, all while offering competitive rates. Modern Realty Results is veteran-owned and managed. Please call us at 262-4222, modernrealtyresults.com.
We welcome you back on the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. We'll now get into our coach's interview, brought to you by Parsons Ford. They're located at 1400 Shepherdstown Road or online at parsonsford.com. They became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons. We're now joined by the head coach of the Shepherd University Rams, Ernie McCook. Coach, a thrilling win for your team in Week 1 over Southern Connecticut State. What were some takeaways from that victory?
We have a lot of work ahead of us. We got to become a better football team, continue to improve, identify the mistakes we made, identify the areas where we need improvement, which we've been working at all week. But all in all, when you come away with a win and you kind of grit out a tough win, it's our players making plays. Our players did a nice job. They came through when they needed to. So having a win with a game where you feel like you made a lot of mistakes and you got to be a better football team, it's a good thing.
What can you say about Dustin Fisher and the work he's put in, mainly a blocking tight end the first few seasons that he's been here at Shepherd? Then that was his first career catch, was that game-winning touchdown.
It was pretty exciting for him. His first career touchdown in front of his brother Joey, who was in town. Joey was pretty excited. I think his family was excited. But Dustin's worked extremely hard. Has really done a lot of nice things. Been a great program guy. So it's nice to see him have that spotlight.
Young guys stepped up for you all day. In particular, freshman Cordell Batten and Miles Greer. Yeah. Miles gets that punt return, kind of filling in a role for Rodney Dorsey in that spot, and Cordell Batten playing that slot position, kind of a similar situation. Both of them kind of stepping up for Dorsey. So what can you say about those guys stepping up right away and making plays?
Well, we knew that they were really talented freshmen when we recruited them, and we thought they had a chance to play early for us in the first game of the season. I mean, they stepped up. They made plays. Credit to them and who they are as players. They're still going to have a chance to get a lot better. But I think if you look through the entire participation of our roster, you're going to see a lot of guys that have stepped up and played pretty good football. And I'm really proud of our team. We're a young football team. We stayed focused. We didn't panic. And I think there's going to be a lot of good things for us. But we do have a lot of work ahead of us.
Anything stand out to you about the defensive side of the ball?
Well, I thought the defense always comes up big when they need to. They had a great goal line stand. I think that we're going to got to feel good about them. The defense has got to be our mainstay, as we continue to grow and get in sync on offense. But defensively, they got to get in sync as well. So we're a football team that continues to grow each week, become more in sync as a program, and try and get better each day.
With the heat this week, how's that kind of affected things heading into Edinboro?
The heat has created a lot of great practices. Our guys are staying loose. They're running around. They're enjoying the warm weather. They're hydrating and all that. But I think the energy's been great. And I've had more of, why are we moving practice? It's not that hot. So it's kind of a good deal for us. But we're staying in compliant with the Pennsylvania Athletic Conference rules. And we're getting our work in that we need to, and our players are doing a great job focusing and doing the things they need to do with the schedule change.
What stands out to you about this year's Edinboro team?
They have a lot of experience back. They were extremely young last year. Just heard a stat. They have 15 guys playing on their defense that have multiple starts, so they're going to be pretty good there. They've improved over the last several years. They're a good football team. They're going to be hungry to get after us. I feel like, people will see the Southern Connecticut game, and everybody's going to have a lot of confidence to come take a shot at us.
All right, Coach, thank you. Good luck this week.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
That concludes our coach interview, brought to you by Parsons Ford, located at 1400 Shepherdstown Road in Martinsburg, or online at parsonsford.com. They became number one by making you number one first, Parsons. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10.
At Dutch Miller Automotive, we've grown quite a bit over the last 60 years, but our core principles remain the same. We believe in treating our customers and our team members like friends and family, and we see it as our obligation to give back to all the communities we are so fortunate to do business in. In just West Virginia alone, we've grown from one location on the west end of Huntington to 10 rooftops employing more than 500 Mountaineers. Check out the inventory from all of our stores at DutchMillerAuto.com. Dutch Miller Automotive Group, West Virginia proud.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at WHMsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, trip nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
We are the Skinner Brothers. Most folks only need a lawyer once or twice in their lives, and when they're injured or in an accident, most people don't know what to do. We get it. It can be overwhelming.
Nobody likes to be told, you need a lawyer, but that's why we're here. We want to get you back to your normal life and help you recover.
So if you or loved one has been in an accident, give us a call. Let us figure out how we can get you compensation.
Reach us at SkinnerWins.com or Google Skinner Lawyers. We'll treat you like family.
We welcome you back here to Sox Harrison Stadium and at Edinboro University. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Travis Smith, Dylan Bishop, our cameraman, as we continue here on the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. And Travis, one point that Coach McCook brought up in my interview with him is that with the game last week and it kind of being a surprising score, he feels like everybody now has confidence that they can beat Shepherd, so they're going to give them an even tougher shot than they normally would, even though before Shepherd was kind of the top team in the East anyway, so teams were giving them their best shot, but you have now that confidence in your back of your mind after seeing that score if you're a team like Edinboro or anybody on their schedule for that matter.
Exactly, and you have teams like Coach said, there's a sense that there's blood in the water. That now the Shepherd's ripe for the picking. They lost all their big guns, or most of their big guns from last year. So if you're going to beat a Shepherd team, now's the time to do it. But you look at that Rams team last week, they were able to rise to the occasion and pull one out. And at the end of the day, that's all you're asking for out of your ball club. You need them to fight, scratch, and claw, and do whatever they have to get that win, because when you're at the end of the season and you're totaling up those wins and it's going to determine whether you go to the playoffs or not, you don't want those games that were kind of close that could have went either way to get away from you. So the fact that you were able to go out there, not play your best football, but still able to make the plays when you absolutely needed them down the stretch and come out with a win, certainly you're going to get another team's best shot, but the Shepherd has had that target on their back for quite a while. So it's not too much of a different circumstance for the Rams team. It's just now you have a lot of new faces that are trying to prove that tradition remains the same for Shepherd University, is that they're a top-tier program and a team that you're really going to have to bring your A game week in and week out if you think you have a shot to win.
And you mentioned some of those new faces stepping up, and those guys last week, it's pretty much a brand new wide receiving core. We saw Seth Morgan obviously deliver that game-winning drive, and I think that probably helps his confidence a lot moving forward and the confidence around the team. They'll, of course, tell you that they already were bought in on Seth, but I think seeing it in person in a game just makes everybody feel better about the situation, because he came through when he needed to and made some really good throws there down the stretch. But some of those standouts from last week, Jeremiah Taylor, I think, is the number one name offensively that stands out, as well as running back Malachi Brown, and what they were able to do to help this offense keep pace with Southern Connecticut State last week and then eventually break through there toward the end.
And you mentioned Jeremiah Taylor coming up big for the Rams last week. 7 catches for 113 yards and a touchdown. And Malachi Brown, 22 carries, 95 yards. It's only 4.3 yards per carry, but it's very important that when you're able to run the ball like that, it keeps your offense on schedule. He was also able to have a touchdown run as well as 3 catches, so he's going to be able to help the offense in a variety of ways, but the most important way, he's going to be the tone setter. He's going to wear down that defense where they're not just able to pin their ears back and get after the quarterback, and it's going to help set up play action pass. And as we saw the game wear on, you saw how effective that was as Seth Morgan was able to connect on 16 of 28 passes. Nothing extraordinary about that, 57% of his passes, but he was able to hit them when he needed them. He also had 2 touchdowns, and most importantly, no interceptions. So if Shepherd's able to go out there and play a clean ball game and not turn the ball over, running the ball effectively is certainly going to help them to that end. So again, it was a balanced attack from that Shepherd offense, as opposed to years past where you had a high-powered passing attack with Tyson Bagent, and you also had some spectacular plays out of the run game with Ronnie Brown. Now you have a little bit more of a sustained, steady offense with the guys that they have on the field for them this year.
Let's take another 2-minute break. On the other side of that break, we'll hear from the man who caught the game-winning touchdown last week, Dustin Fisher, as well as a guy who sparked the Rams in the special teams, Miles Greer, as we go in the huddle on the other side of this 2-minute break. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. We're back in 2 minutes.
Before the invitations and the dress, the flowers, cake, candles, or vows, there was an answer to a question proposed with a ring.
Bechtel Jewelers knows that an important part of your wedding happens before the I-do's. We're a diamond store with an engagement and bridal jewelry selection that's both exciting and accessible.
On the big day, there's everything else, and there's the ring. Make sure you get this one right at Bechtel Jewelers in Inwood.
At Dutch Miller Automotive, we've grown quite a bit over the last 60 years, but our core principles remain the same. We believe in treating our customers and our team members like friends and family, and we see it as our obligation to give back to all the communities we are so fortunate to do business in. In just West Virginia alone, we've grown from one location on the west end of Huntington to 10 rooftops employing more than 500 Mountaineers. Check out the inventory from all of our stores at DutchMillerAuto.com. Dutch Miller Automotive Group, West Virginia proud.
As a lifelong Jefferson County resident, Paul Espinosa has been a champion for the Eastern Panhandle. Paul is the effective, fiscally conservative voice we need in the West Virginia Senate. He's fought for job creation, student-centered education, the rights of the unborn, protecting our family farms, and was a leader in passing income tax relief for all West Virginians. When residents of the 16th Senatorial District cast their votes for their next senator, the choice is clear. Paul Espinosa for West Virginia State Senate. Paid for by Espinosa for Senate, Mary C. Espinosa, Treasurer.
The Honda HR-V, CR-V, Pilot, Passport, and Ridgeline. They all have one thing in common. They never back off from a challenge. Available with all-wheel drive, the Honda SUV lineup has the performance you can count on and the capability to amaze. It's no wonder Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com named Honda the 2022 Best Value brand.
CMA's Honda of Winchester, 3985 Valley Pike. CMA, moving lives forward.
Based on 2022 brand image awards from Kelley Blue Book, visit KBB.com for more information.
We now go in the huddle, brought to you by the Mirius Group and Ameriprise Financial Advisors, John Everson and Phil McCoy. Stop by 1270 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg or call 304-263-4343. We now go in the huddle with Shepherd Rams tight end Dustin Fisher. Dustin, your first career touchdown on Saturday, the game-winning touchdown. Just kind of walk me through that last play of the game.
I mean, it was just exciting. When they called the play, I knew by the defensive look that it was going to be open. So I just ran as fast as I could, as hard as I could, and as soon as I crossed the middle, I just looked back and Seth made a beautiful pass.
Was it extra special to have that moment with Joey coming back as well?
Yeah. He didn't even tell me. I mean, I know everything would happen. He ended up getting home on a different note, but he didn't even tell me he was coming home, but it was always the plan. His plan was to come home, watch my first game, me starting everything, and it just worked out perfectly. It was amazing.
For you, you've pretty much been a blocker the last few years heading into this season. How do you think, or what were some things you worked on to get to this point now where you can be a receiving tight end and be a big part of this offense?
I mean, I've always been working, just following the people in front of me. Like B-Walk, he was an excellent route runner, so being able just to follow in his footsteps, it just makes it so much easier, having somebody to look up to every year, so it was nice.
You mentioned Brian Walker and, of course, Alex Wetzel before him. What were some things that you kind of took away from those guys?
A little bit of everything. Wetzel, they told me my first few years here that I was going to be a blocking tight end, so I took after Wetzel. Wetzel, he had really good routes, but he was known to block. So when I just followed him day in, day out, and then I knew last year B-Walk was really good at running routes and he was really good at blocking, so I just took all of his scheme and then just put it together and made it.
Edinboro this week, obviously a brand new team for them as well, so new year. What are some things that you've seen out of their defense so far?
I mean, I know they're new, but they also got a lot of good players coming back. Different number changes, but it's just going to be the same thing as last year. We just got to work. All
right, Dustin, anything else?
No, sir.
We now go in the huddle with Shepherd defensive back and punt returner Miles Greer. Miles, you were able to return that punt when the team was down 14-7. What kind of boost do you think that gave your team?
I think it gave a pretty good boost. I feel like after I made the play, the crowd was on our side and we're able to keep going, keep rolling, and get the win out.
What were some things that you kind of saw on that play that allowed you to find that seam down the sideline and return it to the house?
I mean, I just made the first guy miss, and everything just opened up for me. So I just hit it, and luckily I had a lot of blocks down the sideline.
And for you, a true freshman playing in your first game, what was that like for you and just playing here at Ram Stadium?
I mean, at first I was nervous. I didn't want to drop it. That would have been the worst case scenario. I didn't want to drop it. But after I got the first fair catch, I felt confident in myself and did a fair catch again. So
you got some reps on the defensive side of the ball as well. What was that like for you, and what do you think about the defense this year?
I think it was good. I came in nervous, but after the first play, you kind of get into the game and you have no problems with the nerves. So, yeah, I think the defense will be good. We'll be straight.
You got Edinboro this week, another challenge for you, first PSAC game on the road. What are some things that kind of stand out to you about this Edinboro offense?
I don't know. They're pretty explosive. They have two good receivers, but I feel like our DBs will be able to shut them down, so this shouldn't be a problem.
All right, Miles, thank you. Good luck this week.
Yep, thank you.
That concludes our player interviews portion of the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. When we return, we will have more. This is Shepherd University Rams football on TV 10.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at whmsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
After a car accident, what do you get when you call Mansion Ferretti?
You get more experience from a local law firm with over 115 years of combined service.
More respect from a team who treats clients like their own family.
And more fight, because we want you to get every dollar you deserve.
Experience, respect, results. If you've been injured, that's what you want in your lawyer.
And that's what you'll get when you call us. Car accident? Get more with Mansion Ferretti. 304-264-8505.
At Dutch Miller Automotive, we've grown quite a bit over the last 60 years, but our core principles remain the same. We believe in treating our customers and our team members like friends and family, and we see it as our obligation to give back to all the communities we are so fortunate to do business in. In just West Virginia alone, we've grown from one location on the west end of Huntington to 10 rooftops employing more than 500 Mountaineers. Check out the inventory from all of our stores at DutchMillerAuto.com. Dutch Miller Automotive Group, West Virginia proud.
Remember when you were a little kid and saw your first deer?
Oh, how cute.
As an adult, maybe you've had a different experience.
Where'd that come from?
Bambi mess up your dream machine? Call Cody's Auto Body today at 304-901-4777 and get the work done right the first time. Cody's Auto Body, 851 Wilston Street in Martinsburg, has a team of auto body professionals with a lifetime of experience putting your ride back together again, regardless of how it got that way. Cody's Auto Body.
Down situations, and if they're able to limit that run game early in the series, they're going to make them a little bit more predictable later on in the series. Also, keys for the Fighting side, they're going to have to force at least one turnover today. I think they're going to need an extra possession to try to get some points on the board, because this Shepherd team, 27 points, it's a far cry from the nearly 40 points that they averaged from last year, but 27 points is nothing to sneeze at. If you can put up 4 touchdowns during the game, you're going to be doing pretty good. So Fighting Scots are going to have to cut into that by forcing a turnover. Looking over at Shepherd, keys for the Rams, they're going to have to protect the football. They played a clean game last week, first game of the year. You always want that. You don't want a lot of penalties. You don't want turnovers, and the Rams were successful in that endeavor. They're also going to have to stick with the run. That was something that they were able to do very well last week. Malachi Brown having 22 carries himself, averaging 4.3 yards per tote. So that's something that they're going to try to rinse and repeat again this week. Also, you want to keep special teams trending in the right direction for the Rams. Miles Greer had an outstanding game last week with a big punt return that really got the ball rolling for the Rams last week. So try to keep that special teams as a developing strength as the team move forward in the season. And also, you want to limit big plays in the passing game. Like we mentioned, the Rams, they don't have that devastating pass rush that they've had years past. Well, not yet, at least. So if they're not going to be able to get that pass rush, they're going to have to be stout on the back end. So those defensive backs are really going to have to step up and limit those big passing plays, because you don't want this home crowd getting into the game after a couple bombs get dropped deep in the secondary. So that'll be my keys for the Shepherd Rams.
Thank you, Travis. Just looking down at the sidelines, trying to get a gauge for some of the guys that were out last week. Looks like Cam Dorner is good to go. He is in uniform. I do not see Dwayne Grantham down on the sideline, so Harold O'Neal will have to step up again at linebacker. He played pretty well last week, Travis, so you expect him to fill in again. But getting Dorner back offensively, I think, is key, because even though the Rams have a lot of depth at that wide receiver position, Dorner gives them a different skill set. He's a little bit bigger and can go up and make some tough contested catches to kind of help fill that role of Jeremiah Taylor. So they have two guys that can go up and do that, opposed to a lot of slot receiver type sizes out there. Getting a 6'1" wide out with Taylor's 6'2" size, I think, helps Shepherd a lot.
There you go. And not only that, Dorner's going to bring you some experience from last year. Played in 14 games last year, 2 starts, had 34 catches for 299 yards and 3 touchdowns. So it's just going to be nice to have that experienced, seasoned veteran out there that's going to help settle down Seth Morgan early in today's contest.
So we welcome you, or we are getting set for our opening kickoff here. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Travis Smith. As Edinboro will kick to Shepherd. Going back deep for the Rams will be Christian McDowell as well as Malachi Brown. As Edinboro will kick it away here to Shepherd momentarily. Our opening kickoff brought to you by CMA Honda of Winchester, located at 3985 Valley Pike. CMA, moving lives forward. Kicking off for Edinboro will be Reed Martin, the do-it-all kicker, punter, defensive back, can play some offense as well.
If you toss him the keys, he'd probably be able to drive the bus to the game as well.
He might, for all we know.
Yeah.
But Reed Martin, a very talented player, was an All-American punter in Division II, so certainly a good leg in the special teams unit for Edinboro, and special teams could be a key. It was a key last week for the Rams' victory over Southern Connecticut State.
Last year, Martin had punts that averaged 42.7 yards per punt. Also 20 punts inside the 20, and starts the game off with a touchback right there.
Yeah, and the touchback certainly helps, as Shepherd, of course, returned to punt for a touchdown last week. Had some good kickoff returns as well. But here they'll start at their own 25-yard line after the kickoff for the touchback. I'm sorry, out to the 20-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Rams on their own 20. Seth Morgan and the Rams offense coming out onto the field. 2 receivers to the near side in Dorner and Baden to start things off. I'm sorry, not Baden. Taylor, Jeremiah Taylor, the receivers to the near side. And we have a penalty. Or no, I think they actually spotted it at the 25, which is where it should have been after the touchback. Thought maybe I was going crazy, Travis. They'll hand it off to Malachi Brown running off the left side. He's across the 25 and out of bounds near the 30-yard line on that far sideline. So it'll be 2nd down for Shepherd.
Chased out of bounds by Wilfredo Diaz. 250-pound sophomore out of Miami, Florida.
Gain of 7 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 3. Dorner goes to that far side. Baden now in the slot, and Taylor to the near side. Morgan in the gun with Brown to his left. Edinboro showing blitz here. There's some Dorner in motion. Morgan throws near sideline, complete to Cordell Baden on the back shoulder throw, and he is thrown out of bounds by Diaz. It's a big gain out toward midfield for the Rams.
And that was something that Seth Morgan showed a knack for last week, was throwing, using those back shoulder fades and just allowing his wide receivers to go up and be athletes and make plays. And that's something where he seems to be developing confidence in those speedy athletes out on the edges. You know what? If I can throw up that 50-50 ball, chances are better than 50-50 that a Ram's going to come down with it.
Ball moves to midfield. Morgan looking to throw. Morgan throws back shoulder again, but it's incomplete. Intended for Jeremiah Taylor. In coverage on that one was Darius Wise. He'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
And you see that that's a wrinkle that this Rams offense is really trying to exploit early on in this game. They realize that the Fighting Scots are going to play a little bit deeper, so you want to try to have things like comebacks to the sideline, and that time Batten just Taylor losing his footing, not able to complete that catch on the comeback route.
So 2nd and 10 for the Rams. Morgan looking to throw again, looking deep down the near sideline for Dorner. He catches it in stride. He's out of bounds around the 10-yard line. Cam Dorner with his first catch of the year. Wise in coverage. And the Rams looking good here early. Morgan looking confident throwing that football.
And the Rams coaching staff showing confidence in Morgan by allowing him to throw the ball here early and often. And you see why that Edinboro defense was concerned about that speed from the Rams wideouts. That time, Dorner, we mentioned how he's able to use that big frame to make the tough catches over the middle. That time, able to turn on the jets and pull past wise and just stepped out of bounds right there at the last second. But a big play for this Rams offense early on.
Well, handed out up the middle to Malachi Brown. He gets down to about the 11-yard line before he's brought down on the play. I think Wise might have came up in the corner position to make that tackle.
And a big block on that play by Jack Rosnich, the 6'2", 230-pound redshirt junior tight end from Huntingtown, Maryland. And you're seeing a lot more heavy sets for this Rams offense. A lot of tight ends and fullbacks. They employed that in years past, just not as much. And you're starting to see a new identity emerge for the Shepherd Rams offense.
2nd and 4 after the 6-yard gain. They'll run Brown off the left side. Brown still on his feet. Oh, ball came out. It's a fight for the football. This may go to Edinboro, which would be a real disappointment for Shepherd. Gotten all the way down inside the 5-yard line. No signal yet, but it looks like it's going to stay with the Rams. So Malachi Brown coughs it up, but the Rams keep it.
And that was a big push up front. That interior part of the offensive line for the Shepherd University Rams was able to create a lot of space. Malachi Brown was able to get about 4 or 5 yards downfield before the first defender even had a shot to put a hand on him.
1st and goal from the 4. Morgan in the gun, Brown to his right, Dorner the receiver to the near side. Rosnich is the H-back. They'll send Dorner in motion. High snap, play action, dump it down to Dorner in the flat. Dorner dives for the end zone, touchdown Shepherd. The Rams take the early 6-0 lead as Cam Dorner scores on the opening drive of the game, and it'll be the extra point coming from James Bozick.
And that's one of the things that the Rams were able to do last week and look like they're going to continue to do it this week using that play-action pass. They showed a heavy run package. They only had one wide receiver on the field that time in Dorner. They showed a heavy run inside. It was a fake to Malachi Brown. Dorner was able to catch the ball on a flare pass and able to go airborne to take it in for the Rams' first touchdown of today's contest.
We will take our first 60-second break. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
The Skinner family has been representing West Virginians for more than 50 years.
We've changed the name of our firm to Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers because we want to be clear about what we do. We represent people who have been in car, truck, and other catastrophic accidents.
We're here to be a voice for the injured and vulnerable, and we take that job seriously with deep commitment to serving our clients wherever they are.
Just Google Skinner Accident Lawyer or visit SkinnerWins.com. We'll treat you like family.
Hello?
We're here again 3 times in the past 2 days.
You're where?
Bechtel Jewelers. Look.
Can Mom hear you?
No, she's in a diamond coma. Get her the pendant, or I will.
Hey, that's my credit card.
What? Can't hear you, Dad. You're breaking up.
It's going to take more than a crying baby to wake her out of this diamond coma. You're going to need a mega dose of jewelry from Bechtel Jewelers.
We welcome you back here to Edinboro. Stanfield on the return. He is out of bounds at around the 25-yard line, and that is where Edinboro will set up. Miles Greer in on the tackle.
I'll tell you what, that young man has been making the most of his opportunity on the field. The 5'11", 185-pound freshman made big plays last week on special teams. It starts off today with a big hit on the sidelines.
12:18 to go in this first quarter. 7-0 Shepherd. Cam Dorner with the opening touchdown for the Rams. Scoring drive summary brought to you by Paul Espinoza for State Senate, an effective, fiscally conservative voice for the 16th District.
Like Cowser in on the tackle that time. Just a little zone play to the inside, and Cowser was having none of it. Last year played some linebacker, but this year making a big sacrifice for this defense. They've moved him up to defensive end, put his hand in the dirt. He's given up some size, but they know that he's going to give that defense some playmaking ability on the edge.
No gain on the play. Will be 2nd down and 10.
You see that Rams secondary showing a lot of respect to that speed of the outside for those Scots wide receivers.
Carlisle hands it off, and again it's Kevin Cowser in the backfield, the first man there to make the stop for the Rams.
I understand you want to try to attack the undersized defensive end, but I think he's proven his point early is you may have to wait a little bit later until maybe he's a little bit more tired before you try to test him like that, because if it comes down to speed and athleticism, he's going to be there and meet you every time.
Shepherd goes to a 3 down lineman front with Jason Robertson playing the opposite side of Cowser on the D-line. And they're all standing up here on 3rd down and 12. Carlisle takes the snap. Carlisle throws near side, complete to Stanfield. He is tackled right away by Naeem Alexander, and it'll be 4th down. Alexander was a standout last year for the Rams special teams, and he makes a good play there in open space. Edinboro will be forced to punt, going back deep as Miles Greer, and Reed Martin will kick it away for the Scots.
Some sure-handed tackling on that first series for the Rams defense. Cows are able to come up with a couple solo tackles himself, and that time Naeem Alexander getting tested on 3rd down, and he was able to answer that test, the 5'9", 160-pound sophomore.
Martin boots it away. It's a beautiful punt. Bouncing inside the 20-yard line, going to roll, though, all the way for a touchback. So that works in Shepherd's favor, as I think Greer did a good job of selling it like it was going to come up and be catchable for him.
And again, the freshman is just showing some incredible situational awareness on that play, because he knows he's going to go up against one of the better punters that you're going to face in the PSAC, and that's showing some veteran savvy right there. Like you said, faking like he's going to retrieve the ball, realizing that it's coming in a bit hot and was rolling into the end zone. Although Thaddeus Stanfield gave it a good try. He was almost able to down it there on the 1, but coming up just a bit short.
So the Rams will take over 1st down and 10 from their own 20 after the touchback on the punt. And Morgan in the shotgun with trips to the near side. Morgan looking to throw. Pumps once. Had him on the double go. And they got Cam Dorner again. Dorner still on his feet and fighting out of bounds into Edinboro territory to the 49-yard line.
Seth Morgan showing that pump fake to the quick screen, and we mentioned that blocking ability by Dorner. That time the Rams able to use it to their advantage. They're able to flash that faking that quick screen out to the wide receiver. Dorner's able to slip behind the defense, and Seth Morgan able to put the ball on target. And again, Dorner coming up with a big play, making his impact felt early.
9:45 to go in this first quarter. 7-0 Shepherd. They'll run Brown, and Brown trying to fight off tacklers is brought down on the play by C.J. Walder.
Walder, the 6'1", 205-pound junior linebacker, had 6 tackles last week, 3 of those solo versus Duquesne.
No gain on the play, brings up 2nd and 10 for the Rams. 9:15 to go in this first quarter. 7-0 Shepherd on top. Morgan in the gun. Fisher split out as a wide receiver to the far side. Morgan again looking deep. Jeremiah Taylor just overthrown and out of bounds. Will bring up 3rd and 10.
Not sure what Edinboro was looking to accomplish on that play. The safety, Malcolm Johnson, he was lined up inside the hash mark. The corner, Wise, lined up, man-to-man, tight coverage against Taylor. That's an easy read for the quarterback. He sees it on the short sideline, and he's got man-to-man coverage, so the wide receiver able to get an outside release. It was a good read, just the throw was a little bit off target, but not a good look for that Fighting Scots defense.
Flag on the play at midfield. It looks like it may be going against Edinboro. Sportsmanlike conduct on the defensive tackle, Joan Duggan. Gianni Duggan, 6'3", 325-pound senior. Moves the ball deeper into Edinboro territory and gives Shepherd a 1st down. Ball down to the 34-yard line of Edinboro. 1st and 10 now with 9 minutes to go in this first quarter. 7-0 Rams, and Shepherd looking to extend that lead. They're going to run Malachi Brown again, and Brown sheds off a tackler, nearly gets back to the line of scrimmage, but will lose 1 on the play.
Zach Malpica was the first guy on the scene, the 6'3", 225-pound linebacker from Cape Coral, Florida, but not able to bring down Malachi Brown in the backfield. We mentioned how he has been converted from a wide receiver last year now to a running back, but you certainly don't see that the way he runs the ball, a very physical style of running as Nazir Russell checks into the backfield.
Russell in the backfield here on 2nd and 12. Batten going in motion from left to right as Morgan looks to throw. High pass caught by Taylor across the 30 down to about the 29-yard line. Tackled on the play by Darius Wise. It'll bring up 3rd and medium for the Rams. And a whistle for, I believe, an injury or a timeout, looks like. No, Taylor was hurt, but he's going to jog off. So Jeremiah Taylor jogging off the field quickly, as initially it looked like they were going to have to stop play. But
and the way he's tapping his chest is like he fell on the football, so it might have been something where he just got the wind knocked out of him. Not fun.
3rd down and 5 for the Rams. Brown is not the back here. It is still Nazir Russell on 3rd and 5. Morgan under some heat, throws off his back foot and incomplete. He wanted Haley on that one. Good coverage by Reed Martin on the play. Malpica coming over to provide the pressure.
And I understand wanting to try to get the ball away, but that was kind of a dangerous throw. If that corner has his head turned around, that could have turned ugly quickly for the Rams quarterback.
So Shepard will go for it here on 4th and 4 from the 28-yard line. Trips to the near side for the Rams. Edinboro showing blitz. Morgan looks to the sideline, adjusting the play now at the line. Russell still the back on 4th and 4, and a whistle, and this time a timeout taken by the Scots. 7:46 to go in this first quarter. Let's go ahead and take a 30-second break. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at WHMsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
We welcome you back here to Edinboro. 7-0. Shepherd on top of the Fighting Scots with 7:46 to go in this first quarter. It's 4th down and 4 for the Rams from the 28-yard line of Edinboro. Taylor still on the bench. It's Dorner along with Hill, the receivers, here on 4th and 4. Rosnage is in the game as well as an up back. They'll run a quick pass to Cam Dorner. I don't think he got there. It's going to be close, though. Got it down to about the 24, which is about where he needed to get.
Looks like Logan Dexter was in on that tackle, the 6', 195-pound sophomore safety from Pittsburgh, PA, so a local product.
But I think he's going to be about a half yard short.
And it looked like there was going to be a big hole in that play when he initially got the football, but credit to that Edinboro defense, they were able to quickly close the gap. And
turnover on down, so it'll be Edinboro football. As it's kind of that newer version of a jet sweep. Doesn't work out for Shepherd. It'll be 1st down and 10 now for the Fighting Scots from their own 24.
And that's a trend that you see a lot in today's game is when there's a short yardage situation, you'll go to that jet sweep, thinking being that teams are really going to load up in the middle and really sell out to stop the run in the middle, and hopefully you can get on the edge and break a big play. But most of the times, the defense are able to push that edge back, and it winds up being a negative play as opposed to being able to pick up that short yardage.
So the turnover on downs gives the ball back to the Fighting Scots with 7:14 to go in this first quarter, down 7-0. Matt Carlisle in the gun. And he'll throw on 1st and 10. He throws incomplete. Stanfield had it in his hands, but he dropped it. It'll be 2nd and 10. Started to make the run before he caught the football.
And Stanfield named second team All PSAC West last year as a wide receiver and a kick returner. Had a monster season last year. In 11 games of action, had 65 catches, 790 yards with 6 touchdowns. Also averaged 19.7 yards per kick return. Had a really big game last year versus Shepherd. 7 catches, 123 yards, and a touchdown. But
Brian Troble, the back, and he'll get the carry. Troble shedding off tacklers. I believe he has the first down. They're finally brought down by Dante Harrison. We'll move it to about 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2. But hard running there from Troble, the undersized back at 5'9", 180. But clearly a trend, I guess, in Edinboro wanting to keep those guys or go for those guys that are about 5'9", 5'10", 180 pounds. So 3rd down and 2 after the 8-yard carry. They'll fake it to Troble, and Carlisle's got some room to the outside.
Good
Matt Carlisle across midfield. He's in a foot race inside the 20 to the 10, still on his feet, and finally dragged down inside the 5-yard line, making the tackle for Shepherd. Looked to be Christian McDowell. Finally the man to chase him down.
And the big block on the play that was able to spring Carlisle, Matt Watkins, wide receiver, 5'10", 175 pounds. If you're going to get big plays in the run game, you're going to need your wide receivers to put in some work down the field, and that's what Watkins was able to do. The little zone read action up front, the quarterback pulls it, and we see why Carlisle gets out there. He's a big man. He got a little raggedy there towards the end. He was running out of gas, and when Rams defender was able to take him down inside the 5, but a big play for this Edinboro offense.
5:48 to go in the first quarter, 7-0. Shepherd and Edinboro is going to have to burn its second timeout here of the first quarter. After the big run from Carlisle, Edinboro forced to call timeout here at the 3-yard line. Travis, 1st and goal.
And you had the momentum on your side, but there was some type of miscommunication as far as getting in the play. That's something you got to be able to handle success. You go out there, you make a big play, the adrenaline's going. You've got to be able to have that focus to punch it in and get on the board. When you call that timeout, it gives the defense a chance to catch their breath, make some adjustments. You don't want to give that Shepherd Rams defense a chance to make any type of adjustments because that's something that they've proven that they've been able to do over the years. You want to keep that pressure on, you want to keep them off balance. So that was an opportunity that could possibly be missed by this Fighting Scots offense by using that timeout. And like you mentioned, 2 timeouts. They only got 1 left for the remainder of this half. I mean, and timeouts aren't critically important in the first half, but you still like to have some in your back pocket just in case you're trying to make that 2-minute drive to close out the first half.
Yeah, especially since Shepherd got the football first, so Edinboro will get it second. You can have an opportunity to get those back-to-back drives and potentially put up some points. You can still do that with 1 timeout. It just makes it a little bit tougher. So 5:46 to go in this first quarter. 7-0 Rams. Edinboro knocking on the door. 1st and goal from the 3-yard line. Carlisle takes the snap. He'll go QB draw. And stacked up there, looked like Nathan Muley leading the charge. Cowser coming over to finish it off. Short gain on the play. Will be 2nd and goal.
Carlisle a bit slow to get up on that play, but manages to get out from underneath the pile under his own power. And that's tough. You have a quarterback that can move like that. You go spread on the goal line. And with the talent that you have out wide, you have to respect it with your coverage. So that means you're going to have to pull an extra defender out of the box. But that time the Rams were able to stop him short of the goal line.
Pistol formation from the 2. Carlisle fakes, ducks under, and doesn't find much room. He might have even lost a yard on that play.
And again, it looks like there was a miscommunication between the quarterback and the running back. The quarterback fakes the handoff one way, the running back goes another way. The defense isn't going to bite on a play-action fake like that. So right now, the Scots, after the big play, have been kind of discombobulated once they've got inside the red zone.
I wonder if it was supposed to be some sort of option there, but running back went the wrong way. Anyway, it'll be 3rd and goal now for the Scots. Shepherd had a goal line stand a week ago. Would love to get another one here in a 7-0 lead for the Rams at 4:23 to go in that first quarter. Carlisle looking to throw. Slant route, incomplete.
Good
Broken
coverage.
up by McDowell. on the backside. And now Edinboro has to make a decision, and they're going to kick a field goal.
And I don't blame them. Early on in the game, you want to get some points on the board. You got some momentum going. You got a chance to come away with something. But what you don't want to do is gamble here early on, come up short, and now you have the Rams really surging after getting a big stop, after giving up a big play.
Yeah, this is pretty much the same situation we talked about last week, as Reed Martin's field goal is up and good. Our score, 4:11 to go in the first quarter, 7-3, Shepherd on top. Let's take a 30-second break. This is Shepherd University Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
Mayhem is everywhere.
I'm your new Bangs, and you can't stop staring at me. That's it. Just tilt the rearview mirror over here. And while you're checking me out more times than a library book, your car is wandering into that lane over there. More bangs? Neat. And if you've got cut rate insurance, you could be paying for this yourself. So get Allstate.
Call Martinsburg Allstate agent Gary Kelly today at 304-263-4596.
3, Shepherd on top of Edinboro as we continue here in this first quarter. 4:11 to go in the opening quarter. The Scots will kick it away. Rams will go back to return. Travis, eventually Edinboro does put some points up on the board, but after that big run from Matt Carlisle and a timeout, they still couldn't execute down there.
You miss a golden opportunity. You have a fresh set of downs inside the 5, and you have to come away with 3. You know you have a good kicker, so that's a given that you're going to be able to come away with some points, but you can't miss out on opportunities to score touchdowns when they come up. So far, this Shepherd Rams offense has shown that they're able to hit on all cylinders here so far. You can't trade field goals for touchdowns and expect a way to come away successful.
But give credit to the Rams defense. It's their second goal line stand in 2 weeks. McDowell fields it in the end zone, and he will just elect to take a knee. So Matt Carlisle gets the big run, but it results in no touchdown. It's a field goal from Reed Martin to make our score now 7-3 Shepherd with 4:10 to go in the first quarter. Our scoring drive summaries brought to you by Paul Espinosa for State Senate, an effective fiscally conservative voice for the 16th District. So Shepherd will take over now on their own 25-yard line. Seth Morgan in the shotgun. Batting the receiver to the near side. They'll send Batten in motion. They'll keep Russell in as the running back, and Russell running hard up the middle. Do you think Malachi may be taking a break here due to him not really hitting the hole? And, of course, he had that fumble earlier too, Travis.
And, again, you look at last week's game, he had a lot of carries, yet he was still also out there on kickoff return. So that's a heavy load for one running back to carry. So maybe it's something where they want to see what Russell can do, whereas Malachi Brown got a lion's share of the carries last week. Now they want to see what they have in Russell.
3-yard gain on the play brings up 2nd and 7. Morgan looking to throw again. Throws complete to Cordell Batten. Batten turns it up and is tackled at about the 31-yard line. Diaz again in on the tackle. We'll bring up 3rd down. Our first quarter presented to you on TV 10 by Smallwood and Small Insurance in Martinsburg, your total insurance solution, and 121 Administrative Drive. Call 304-263-3361. So it'll be 3rd down for the Rams. 3rd and about 4. It's a long 4 here for Morgan and the offense. Morgan trying to adjust things. Play clock winding down to 5 seconds. Morgan gets it off. Pressure comes. High pass caught by Cam Dorner. He's across the 37-yard line before he's brought down for a first down, Shepherd. Tackled on the play by Toby Klein, the safety. 1st and 10 for Shepherd with 2:30 to go in this first quarter. Our other first quarter sponsor on TV 10, Skinner Accident Injury Lawyers, representing accident and injury claims for over 50 years. Go to SkinnerWins.com.
And that was something that we didn't see a lot of last week. The Rams didn't attack over the middle very much. The biggest play was the game-winning touchdown pass to Fisher.
And look at Nazir Russell continue to fight forward before he's brought down at around the 44-yard line. Will bring up second down.
But I think you hit on a good point earlier there, Nick. Malachi Brown was doing a little bit too much dancing in the backfield, almost lost that football. And you've seen Russell, once he's come into the game, he has not hesitated. He's been downhill, not doing any type of fancy steps in the backfield. He's getting the yards that the offensive line is providing.
6-yard carry on first down. They'll go Russell again, and Russell has the first down, turning those legs out to about midfield before he's brought down on the play. Is on the tackle, along with, for Edinboro, number 47, Braden Dumry. So it's another first down for Shepherd as they move the ball to midfield. 1:13 to go in this first quarter. 7-3 Rams.
And so far, Russell looking very comfortable in the backfield. You could tell that he's a much more used to that running back position as opposed to Malachi Brown, converted over from being a wide receiver. Just a little bit things that are more natural to Russell.
They'll run Russell again, and Russell running hard. Doesn't find much room on this one. Edinboro says the ball came out, and it did. And running away with it for the Fighting Scots is Wise. Ball came out, and now and Brown have a fumble in this first quarter. Shepherd turns it over, and Edinboro is set up in Shepherd territory to the 35-yard line.
We talked about it during our keys to victory in the pregame. Forcing a turnover was going to be critical for this Edinboro ball club. That time, Russell just being a little bit overzealous as a running back, just trying to make his mark on the game. Sometimes when you're wrapped up by 4 and 5 dudes, you just got to go down. Take what the defense is going to give you. You live to fight another day, but sometimes fighting for that extra yard is going to cost you possession of the football. And right now, Edinboro setting up shop on the Rams 35.
Darius Wise came out with the football. Here's a throw incomplete. Intended for Armani Bailey, the junior. Bring up 2nd and 10 for the Fighting Scots. 41 seconds to go in the opening quarter.
Bailey, the 5'9", 175-pound junior from Lincoln, PA. It looked like the ball may have been tipped after that play action in the backfield.
2nd down and 10 for the Scots. Carlisle looking to throw again. Has time and throws complete. No, Stanfield dropped it again. A very reliable wide receiver, typically, Travis.
And
that's now 2 plays where he's dropped it and been pretty open.
I mean, 2 catchable balls. I mean, he's hit him in the hands both times, and it just looks like he's just too eager to start running with the ball before he's secured the catch, and you got to do one before you can do the other.
3rd down and 10 now for Edinboro. Ball on the 35-yard line. Carlisle in the gun. Carlisle looking to throw. Under pressure, and he is able to get it away. And they don't find much room on that play. Complete to the running back, Brian Trobel. As it looked like Nathan Muley had him wrapped up. And just able to make the throw is the big quarterback in Carlisle. That was Jack Baxter.
Yeah, Jack Baxter. The 6'2", 270-pound junior from Sykesville, Maryland. And again, he shows how big Carlisle is. He's in the backfield, and he's able to fight off a defensive lineman and able to get that pass off. Not able to come up with something, but he does avoid the sack. But again, just the pressure that the Rams defense is able to get, and that's something that Edinboro's just struggled to protect the quarterback. And when you rely on a lot of those play-action passes or zone read or RPO-type looks, what you allow is more time for that defense to get to you. And right now, Edinboro hasn't been able to make the plays in the face of that pass rush.
So that'll do it for the first quarter of play. Our score, Shepherd 7, Edinboro 3. It'll be a punt for the Fighting Scots when we come back. We're back in 60. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
Hi, Hi, Crescia Hornby here. Larry DeMarco, broker of Modern Realty Results, believes he has some of the best real estate agents in the Eastern Panhandle. Agents at Modern Realty Results have years of experience and knowledge of the local real estate market. Agents within the office work as a team to provide quality customer service. We strive to always ensure client satisfaction through handling every transaction with honesty and integrity, all while offering competitive rates. Modern Realty Results is veteran-owned and managed. Please call us at 262-4222, modernrealtyresults.com.
At Dutch Miller Automotive, we've grown quite a bit over the last 60 years, but our core principles remain the same. We believe in treating our customers and our team members like friends and family, and we see it as our obligation to give back to all the communities we are so fortunate to do business in. In just West Virginia alone, we've grown from one location on the west end of Huntington to 10 rooftops employing more than 500 Mountaineers. Check out the inventory from all of our stores at DutchMillerAuto.com. Dutch Miller Automotive Group, West Virginia proud.
We welcome you back to Edinboro University. Shepherd on top of the Fighting Scots 7-3 as we begin this second quarter. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Travis Smith, our cameraman. This afternoon, Dylan Bishop back in the studio, Colin McLaughlin. As we begin the second quarter of play, and it looks like we'll have a punt from Reed Martin. Be interesting to see if Edinboro can pin them inside the 10, which would make things pretty difficult for the Rams. Of course, last time in a similar situation, Shepherd was able to get the touchback.
Martin had 3 punts inside the 20 last week, so a very accurate punter.
And he drops this one inside the 10. Miles Greer takes it across to about the 14 or 13-yard line before he is brought down almost immediately.
And a big stop for that Rams defense. You give up that turnover relatively deep in your own territory, and Edinboro just not able to make the most of it. And so far, that's been 2 very good opportunities for them to score, and they've only been able to come away with 3 points. So right now, the Rams have to be feeling pretty good that they're able to have this 4-point lead here in the second quarter.
Yeah, if you're Edinboro, you're happy that you're in it, but you're definitely disappointed with. It feels like both teams have left opportunities on the scoreboard. As Morgan will go play action, Brown back in at running back. They'll throw for Taylor. He tries to make a one-handed grab, but the pass falls incomplete. Wise in on the coverage for the Fighting Scots to begin this second quarter. Our second quarter presented to you on TV 10 by Smallwood and Small Insurance in Martinsville, your total insurance solution at 121 Administrative Drive. Call 304-263-3361, as well as Hagerstown Ford, revolutionizing the car buying experience. Go to HagerstownFord.com.
The Rams still seems like they're trying to find that answer at the running back position. Now Russell's out. Malachi Brown back into the ball game.
Morgan looking to throw. Throws deep down the far sideline and incomplete. Diaz in coverage. Intended for Cordell Batten. Travis, there doesn't seem to be any consistency with the Shepherd play calling. No real balance. It's either all run or all deep balls, it feels like, early in the game.
And it doesn't seem like Seth Morgan has that big arm. Now, the Rams receivers have been able to get behind those defenders, and the secondaries naturally step back and open up some things underneath. But he's not a guy that's going to be able to throw the ball all around the yard all day. You have some running backs. You got to use them and not have him in these 3rd and 10 situations.
3rd and 10, they'll dump it down to Malachi Brown. He gets a great block from Chandler Brown. Tries to hurdle a man as he heads out of bounds. It's a first down and more for the Rams, up to about the 40-yard line.
You know Brown's going to have good hands out of the backfield, like we mentioned, his background as a wide receiver. More importantly than that, it's a high percentage throw for the quarterback. Let him get some easy throws, get into a rhythm, get his range down, get a feel for the game. When you just take those shots downfield, it's a gamble. A lot of times you're just going to be an incompletion, but he really doesn't get anything from it. Give him some easy throws underneath, and then he can start get a better feel for what the defense is doing and just being able to make that adjustment.
Gabe Bigby goes in motion from right to left. Morgan will hand it to Malachi Brown this time, running off right side and lowers the shoulder. That is more what you want to see from Malachi, and he has the ability to do it even though he's smaller in stature. Will bring up second down for Shepherd, but if he runs hard and consistently does his thing, as Ty Lucas is forced to check out, Curtis Jefferson will run on to play right guard for Shepherd.
And again, we mentioned the running back's not very tall, but they are stout. 5'10", 195 pounds. I like that. That's a tough running back to bring down, especially when he's behind a tall, rangy offensive line.
They'll run Brown again off the right side. Close to the sticks, but going to be about a yard short. Out to about the 47, 48-yard line is where he needed to get.
And again, this is going to be the sweet spot for this Rams offense this year, is being able to establish the run early in a series. So when you get to a 3rd and short, now the entire playbook's open. You can either elect to run it again and pick up that first down, or you can use a play-action pass. It just makes your quarterback in a much more easy, manageable style of game.
3rd and 2, Russell the back. Russell is stuffed. Trying to run off that right side. Several.
Clay Cunningham in on that tackle. 5'11", 235-pound redshirt junior from Mayfield, Ohio.
Walter also coming up to make the stop for the Fighting Scots, a veteran defense. Travis, the Rams unable to finish off this drive as well. So after a hot start for Shepherd,
and like you mentioned, it's not a good mix. It's all one thing or all another thing. It's either all run or it's all pass. You got to blend it. You got to have balance.
On the return for Edinboro was Amari Bailey. Bailey didn't find much room. So right now it's a defensive battle. Feels a lot like last week in some ways, especially when we got into that 3rd quarter, when eventually Shepherd would break through and tie the game at 14. Rams in the lead, 12-14 to go in this first half.
And the Rams offense has had some difficulties finding its footing after that initial drive. You could tell, though, almost like that first drive was scripted, but since they've gone off script, it's been hard for them to get into a rhythm. Like we mentioned, it's either been all run or all pass. They have to do a better job of mixing it up and putting some pressure on that defense.
Here's a throw to the near side, incomplete. Carlisle that time just completely missed his wide receiver. Mike Watkins, the intended man on that play, as it looked like he thought it was going to be more of like a screen type route, and Watkins was running more of a slant.
And that's what Watkins was motioning back to his quarterback, like, I thought that was supposed to be in towards the middle, but I imagine the quarterback threw the ball to his outside shoulder, not wanting to lead his wide receiver into the teeth of the defense. But again, a miscommunication winds up with incompletion.
2nd and 10 for the Scots. Carlisle throws and nearly intercepted. Harrison and Anelio Pena were in coverage. The pass falls incomplete. And Edinboro is kind of the same way offensively. They're not really getting balance either. And it's kind of weird. I expected them to run the ball a lot more than what we've seen, Travis. But I guess early on, Shepherd stopped that run, and they've now become very pass-happy.
And again, if you want to use your quarterback in the run game, you need to establish it with the running back so he can sell those fakes and get clean, easy runs on the outside.
Looks like Malachi Brown dealing with some taping in front of us for 3rd down and 10, though, for Edinboro. Stanfield going in motion from left to right. Carlisle takes the snap, straight drop back. There was a wide receiver screen underneath to Watkins, and Watkins doesn't find too much room after making the catch.
And I remember that play from last year. Edinboro was down towards the goal line going into the Rams field house. I believe the name is Drip Slip Middle Screen. I remember I went up and talked to the offensive coordinator after the end of that game, Rich DeMayo, 3rd year here on this Edinboro staff, and he was nice enough to draw up the play for me. I appreciate that. So I was able to recognize it on that one. And again, that Rams defense able to react quickly enough where they weren't able to pick up the first down on that play.
A little bit of a high snap on the punt. Martin gets it to bounce at around 40-yard line of Shepherd, and Walter will down it at about the 39. That's where the Rams will take over here. Just over 11 minutes to go in this first half. 7-3 Shepherd. We'll see if they can get the balance back. As I mentioned, Brown was dealing with a taping, so still is dealing with that, and Russell in the game for 1st down and 10. Wyatt Pelicano coming off injury, back at left guard today, has gotten all of the snaps. Ty Lucas came out for a play. Looks like he is back at right guard for the Rams on 1st down and 10 from the 41-yard line. Pistol formation. Seth Morgan to take the snap. He'll go Russell. Russell stacked up, leading the charge for Edinboro was Dunmurray, as well as Clay Cunningham and Caden Spidgel.
The Rams over the years very successful using those zone-type runs. They bring in those linemen and develop them to perform a specific job, and that's one of the things that the Rams offensive line has been able to do well over the years is climb up to the second level, gobble up those linebackers, and trust their running backs to make the right read.
Just a yard on the play. Spidgel gets in there and wraps up Morgan for the sack. Spidgel coming off the edge to make the play, the defensive end, the 6'2 sophomore, and a player down for Shepherd. It appears to be one of their offensive linemen. I believe it's James Bell, the center, down on the play. What would be a 3rd and long, and does not look good. Bell has been a guy that has sat behind Adam Stilley the last couple of years, learning and waiting for his opportunity. A lot of excitement about James and what he could bring to this team. But if that is him out, that would mean the freshman, Josh Crummett, the backup center from Oakdale High School, will have to come into the ball game as he is taking snaps currently. And
looks like the trainer's working on that left knee. And judging from the player's reaction, that's not a good sign.
Yeah, definitely does not look great for James Bell. Certainly hoping for the best as some of his teammates come out to try to help him off the field. But Shepherd a little bit beat up right now. And Bell not putting any pressure on that leg. Christian Slack as well as Lucas Michael out there to help him get off the field. And Curtis Jefferson, another one of those veteran offensive linemen, coming out as well. So it'll be 3rd down and 14. And that means Crummett is in the game at center, who was teammates with Cam Dorner at Oakdale, and of course our very own Rob Mario coached Josh Crummett as well. So heard some good things, but certainly don't want to see an injury like that to Josh Bell, a guy that's worked really hard to earn that spot this year. So hoping for the best on 3rd down and 14. Seth Morgan looking to throw, offensive line holding up, and Morgan looking deep for Barry Hill and throws incomplete. He'll be 4th and 14.
And that seems
Rams go out again.
And that seems to be the formula. It seems like Edinboro has settled in on a philosophy. You're going to have to beat us deep. If you want to throw the ball, you're going to have to beat us deep. That time, Edinboro using a zone coverage underneath and really only giving him deep options. So right now, this Edinboro's defense feel like they've got something dialed in where they're going to be able to have some success throughout today's game. So the Rams are going to have to come up with some adjustments to break a wide receiver free and try to get that running game on track.
Ryan Barrick will punt. It's a high kick. Watkins throws up the fair catch and has a fair catch at about the 23-yard line. Bailey back there on the fair catch. It'll be 1st down and 10, so Shepherd defense back on the field. Seems like both defenses have been on the field quite a bit, but the offenses haven't really done anything in this second quarter. 9:50 to go.
And not a big booming punt on that play, but what that punt was able to do effectively was pretty much negate any type of return. And when you have those type of athletes on the back end, that's something that you want to try to take the ball out of their hands, especially with the game being so close right now. A big special teams play could really swing the momentum in favor of Edinboro.
Carlisle will hand it off. No room. JT Comayao coming over to make the tackle for Shepherd. On the carry for the Scots, Brian Trobel.
Trobel, the
1-yard gain on the play.
5'9", 180-pound junior, the JUCO transfer from the College of DuPage in Glen Ellen, Illinois. Had a big year last year 67 carries, 491 yards, at 7.3 yards per carry with 2 touchdowns. Also had 9 catches for 101 yards out of the backfield. So a dual-threat running back for the Fighting Scots.
Second down, and they'll say 8. They'll run Trobel again, or no, play action, dump it down in the flat to Watkins. Watkins going backwards. O'Neal comes up and makes the tackle for Shepherd. We'll bring up third down. So the Rams defense all over the field right now, making the plays to help keep Shepherd in the ball game.
Again, just with the combination of a high football IQ and speed and athleticism, that Rams defense, you might be able to get them out of position initially, but they're not going to stay out of position. They're going to fly and rally to the football, and they have been able to do that very well so far today. The Edinboro Scots, they've had their opportunities, but those opportunities will not be lasting versus this Rams defense. They are very good at rallying to the football.
Looks like Dwayne Grantham is on the field. He had his jersey rolled up earlier, so I didn't realize it was him when I was looking for him earlier, but he has been out there from time to time. Here's a pass complete for a first down. Pena coming up and making the tackle.
Stanfield with the big catch.
It's first down for Edinboro as the Fighting Scots convert on a 3rd and long.
That was one of the few times today that Carlisle was able to drop back, plant that back foot, and step up and throw the ball with confidence. That time he was able to throw it on target to Stanfield, and Stanfield able to bring it in. He's already had a couple big drops early on, very uncharacteristic for a wide receiver of his caliber, one of the best in the PSAC.
So it appears Grantham's been taking the passing down snaps as they'll run Trobel off the left side, and he gets stacked up on the play. Kevin Kauser, the first man there. And then O'Neal has been taking a lot of the early down snaps, so could be working Grantham back from an injury, or maybe they just really like what O'Neal's been giving them in the run game. Second down and 8 for the Fighting Scots as we roll down to 7 minutes to go in this first half. 7-3, Shepherd on top. Carlisle adjusting the play at the line. 2nd and 8 from the 36-yard line of Edinboro. Here's a fake to Trobel. It looked like a triple option play, and Shepherd had it read perfectly. Comayow coming up to make the tackle for the Rams will bring up 3rd down.
And again, it's so tough to get on the edge versus this Rams defense, and looks like Carlisle a bit banged up on the play, but he's going to stay in. You fake that dive up the middle, hoping to bring that defense in. He's able to get out on the edge and pick up a small gain. But again, that defense is so fast to react and rally to the football, it's hard to get any type of consistent success.
3rd down and 6. Just over 6 minutes to go in this first half. Carlisle with no backs in the backfield. Has time, Carlisle throws a strike to Stanfield. It's caught for another Edinboro first down.
And again, a very similar route that Stanfield ran last time when he got the ball. Just a deep in cut or a dig, able to get over the middle and taking advantage of that Rams zone defense. And again, Carlisle, when he's able to plant his back foot, step into his throws with confidence, you see it. They're a lot more accurate. And Stanfield able to make his 2nd consecutive catch, able to shake off that case of the drops that he had to start today's contest.
Robbie Hart in coverage for the Rams. Brings up a 1st and 10 for the Fighting Scots. Grantham in the backfield quickly as he was offsides and throw incomplete.
So now it looks like the referee's going to have a discussion because you see Carlisle was trying to sell his case that it wasn't an intentional grounding. I was going to say Stanfield was in the area.
Yeah, I mean, in that offsides type situation, too, where the quarterback could get killed, typically they blow the play dead.
Yeah.
So you can't really blame Carlisle for throwing it away when there could have been a whistle there. And, of course, I wouldn't want a free hit from Dwayne Grantham.
No, nor would I.
If you are willing to sign up for it.
Give Colin McLaughlin a call. We'll see what we can do.
Could be a good Shepherd fundraiser. Take a hit from Dwayne Grantham. Not sure who that benefits. Yeah. First down and 5 here for Edinboro. Carlisle runs a toss play to the tight end Hopkins, and Hopkins has a first down and more. Aaron Hopkins, 6'3", 230-pound junior. We saw him last year come up with some catches in this game, but interesting play there. And Edinboro's found a way to just get some yardage, get a little bit more balance in their attack, and it's working against this Shepherd defense coming up on 5 minutes to go before halftime.
And a nice wrinkle to add to it, because so far all the runs have been inside the tackle box. So you bring in a big body in the backfield, naturally you're going to think it's going inside, but Hopkins able to get out on the edge and pick up a big chunk on the play.
Ball down to the 36 of Shepherd. Here's Trouble. Trouble with a big hole up the middle. Inside the 20, avoids a tackle, loses his shoe and scores. Touchdown, Edinboro, to the lead with 4:44 to go before halftime.
He didn't need that shoe. It was slowing him down. But again, you see a nice balance that time. They go with the outside play that makes the defense respect that call. So they're going to have to widen out a little bit, and it opened up just enough of a crease for Trouble to take it inside. And he shows that he's got the speed to take it to the house on that one, and is able to put the Scots on top with a big run that time.
4:44 to go in the first half. Extra point from Reed Martin is up and good, and Edinboro takes the early 10-7 lead. Right before halftime here with 4:44 to go. A lot of football left to be played, and Shepherd will get the ball when we come back. We're back in 30 seconds. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How do I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm Philip McCoy, financial advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC.
We welcome you back to Edinboro, and it's the Fighting Scots taking a 10-7 lead on a 36-yard Brian Trouble touchdown run on a good drive for Edinboro. 9 plays, 78 yards, capped off by the touchdown run. Your scoring drive summaries brought to you by Paul Espinoza for State Senate, an effective, fiscally conservative voice for the 16th District. 4:44 to go in this first half. And Travis, that was the second big drive of the game, really. Besides that, it's been a lot of punts and not a whole lot of balance from the Shepherd offense. It looked like Edinboro kind of got their identity going on that last drive. Kickoff will be fielded inside the 1-yard line. It's Malachi Brown. Brown has some room to the outside. Brown out toward midfield. There's a flag on the play. Malachi Brown is going to take it all the way for a Shepherd touchdown. Back-to-back weeks when the Rams were down, the special teams come through with a punt return last week from Miles Greer, and this week a kickoff return from Malachi Brown from inside the 5-yard line.
And that touchdown is going to stick. That was offsides on Edinboro. Yet they make a big play themselves. They turn right around and lose the lead on that play. Naturally, the Rams are going to decline that. Malachi Brown making a terrific play.
Shepherd, when it needed a spark last week, Miles Greer comes through. This week, Malachi Brown returns the kickoff for the Rams. James Bozick on to attempt the point after for Shepherd with 4:27 to go in this first half, and all of a sudden we got fireworks here at Edinboro. A touchdown drive answered by a kickoff return. The extra point is up and good. Our score, Shepherd 14, Edinboro 10. Let's take another 30-second break. This is Shepherd University Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
Have you been smoking? I can smell it. Hickory. I'm gonna watch you smoke the whole pack.
Shop now and save at Orsini's today.
Have you been smoking? I can smell it. Hickory. I'm gonna watch you smoke the whole pack.
Shop now and save at Orsini's today.
We welcome you back to Edinboro University. Shepherd Top now, 14-10. They regained the lead that quickly with the big kickoff return from Malachi Brown. Just kind of found a hole to the middle, and then once he got to the outside, nobody was going to catch him, Travis.
Absolutely, and again, able to make a play in traffic, showing that he has physicality, does not mind fighting through contact, and once he was able to get out in open field, you're able to see that natural athleticism was able to take over. Oh! Drops the ball on the kickoff return, has to bring it out.
And Stanfield doesn't find much room, and now some pushing and shoving on both sides as he gets out to about the 13-yard line. That is the first kickoff return for the Shepherd Rams since September 24th of 2022 when Ronnie Brown took one back 100 yards against Kutztown. And that was the difference in the ball game, Travis, when Shepherd was, well, not necessarily the difference in the game, but it was a moment that gave the Rams finally some momentum because that offense was flat in the first half, and then a 100-yard kickoff return, and all of a sudden Shepherd ends up winning that one in a shootout at Kutztown. So could that be something similar we see here today? Of course, Shepherd hoping not for a shootout, but looking to get the offense going. That could be the spark they needed. It does give the ball right back to Edinboro with just over 4 minutes to go before halftime, and the Fighting Scots get the ball to start the second half. But Matt Carlisle will run it to the outside. Derek Adamez is there to make the hit, and a flag comes flying in from that far sideline.
And right when I was about ready to compliment the wide receiver for having a good block on the outside, does it a little bit too well. Armani Bailey's probably going to be the wide receiver that gets rung up for the holding penalty on that play. It's so tough when you're running on the edge because you're exposed and you're standing right next to the referee, so it's tough for those wide receivers to maintain those blocks on the edge for an extended period of time without getting those holding penalties. Yep.
Old will back him up even more, and after a special teams mistake by Edinboro with the fumbled ball, now the Fighting Scots are really backed up here. So, Travis, if the Rams can get a stop, they could set up themselves with really good field position and a chance to have a 2-score lead before halftime.
Absolutely, and the Rams still have 3 timeouts left. So, right now, it's shaping up where it's going to be, the momentum's going to be on the side of the Shepherd Rams.
Malachi Brown ruled a 100-yard return to match Ronnie Brown's return from last year. There's good pass and completion there to the far side. I think that's Hopkins making the catch. I think Dwayne Grantham pushed him out of bounds. We'll bring up second and manageable, so a good play there on 1st and 15. To make that penalty not as big of a deal. It actually worked out better for them since Carlisle didn't really go that far down the field on the run anyway. 2nd down and 4.
You're starting to see Carlisle find a little bit more of a rhythm. Hit some deep passes over the middle in their last touchdown drive, and right there, a quick little throw to the outside.
Untrouble, and coming up and making a big hit for the Rams was Emilio Pena. So now we'll bring up 3rd and 4. This is a big play in this first half, Travis. Just over 3 minutes to go. Shepherd up by 4. Ball on the 18-yard line of Edinboro. If the Scots get it, they can continue to extend this drive, potentially put up points before the half. If Shepherd can get a stop, they should get pretty good field position with plenty of time, and as you mentioned, the timeouts. So big play here on 3rd and 6 from their own 18. Carlisle throwing to the near side, complete to a wide open Bailey, who has the first down and more, out to about the 30-yard line. Takes a big hit from Derek Adamez, who drives him out of bounds. Will bring up a 1st down and 10 for the Fighting Scots.
And Stanfield came dangerously close to getting a block in the back or even a blindside block on that play. Just trying to make a play for a teammate. You can't blame him for that, but what you don't want to do is go out there and get that penalty and negate a good play. This Edinboro team, they've had some trouble sustaining that success. They kind of lose their poise. It's happened a couple times so far today. They make a big play, then they're kind of rattled for the next couple plays. So let's see if this Fighting Scots offense can settle into a groove here late in the second quarter.
High snap, handoff to Trouble. Trouble runs into the line of scrimmage, now bounces outside, stays on his feet, and dives for the first down marker. Harrison came up and hit him initially, but Trouble, almost like Darren Sproles, staying on his feet and getting close to the sticks will bring up second down and about 1.
And I guarantee you one guy that's happy on that Edinboro sidelines is running backs coach Elijah Fernandez. This is his first year with the Fighting Scots. And when you see your running back put his hand in the dirt like that and regain his balance and get up and get some more yards after that, that's a big smile on a running backs coach. I'm sure that's something that they work on daily in those individual drills.
Edinboro only has 1 timeout left, but kind of taking their time on this drive. 1:40 to go. Trouble this time gets stuffed, but I think he has enough for the first down on forward progress. Pena coming in to clean it up.
The clock's still rolling even though it's a first down, so I'm surprised.
New rule.
Oh, new rule.
Clock doesn't stop on first down.
There we go. Look at you all in the rule book.
1:25 to go.
Maybe the referee is having that same discussion down there.
At least it's a rule of Division I. Not certain what the new rule is at D2. I believe it comes down.
If they put it back, it should be 132.
Mr. Referee, Travis Smith.
That's right. I didn't read the rule book.
Inside 2 minutes, it still stops. So we were both kind of right.
There we go. We're collaborating. Our cameraman's getting involved. It's a, teamwork.
He's the best cameraman in the Eastern Panhandle, Dylan Bishop. Carlisle throws and nearly intercepted again. Harrison was breaking on it, so was Pena. It falls incomplete. 1:16 to go.
And he was trying to squeeze it in to wide receiver Mike Watkins, 5'10", 175-pound junior from Pompano Beach, Florida. And again, that's a tough throw when you have wide receiver. That's usually a pass play where you have a bigger body wide receiver. That will be something that you would use a Cameron Dorner or a Jeremiah Taylor, somebody that's a bigger target. When you're trying to squeeze that ball in over the middle to a smaller wide receiver, he better have some hops. You have to go up and get it because that's a tough throw for a quarterback to drop that in.
Carlisle looking to throw on.
Oh, man.
That should be a holding. He will go and run and dive down, tackled on the play by Grantham, excuse me.
And I believe the guilty party on that one's going to be, looks like that's going to be right tackle Dylan McWilliams, the 6'4", 315-pound redshirt freshman. He certainly got his money's worth on that holding. It wasn't nothing ticky-tack about that. He was making for doggone sure he wasn't going to give up a sack on that play.
So just over a minute to go. The penalty is going to back Edinboro back pretty significantly here, 10 yards. To make it second and long, second and about 20 from their own 27. So with just over a minute, not certain how aggressive the Scots will be, knowing that they get the ball back. They've had a few balls that were nearly intercepted by the Rams, but we'll see. Second down and 20 here, and they will still throw it. Carlisle looking to throw. Pumps once, fires over the middle, a floater and incomplete. Good coverage on the play. Derek Adames, Watkins the intended receiver, and it will bring up a 3rd and 20.
Adames that time just doing a good job. He was able to use some of his veteran experience. He was able to ride the wide receiver just enough to keep him from getting the ball, but not enough to catch the eye of the referee. Some savvy defensive back play that time by Adames. And again, they don't have big wide receivers, so a lot of these throws are more for like bigger body wide receivers. It's tough to get those kind of throws in to wide receivers of a smaller stature.
Looked like Carlisle got hit as he threw as well. So 3rd down and 20 with just under a minute to go in the first half. Carlisle looking deep over the middle and sails it over everybody's head and incomplete. And that will bring up a 4th and 20 with just over 50 seconds to go before halftime. So, again, can the Shepherd special teams provide a spark? If you can get a good return here from Miles Greer, could set you up to at least think about going for some plays here down the stretch.
You got Reed Martin, certainly has the leg strength, but it might be something, like you mentioned, not wanting that potential giving up a big play, maybe more directional on this punt as opposed to just booming it.
The Beast is in the house.
The proud papa.
Is that a Chicago Cubs hat? Chicago. It has to be Bears,
right?
Go.
He's fully immersing himself in Chicago.
They have the same logo, though. But Miles Greer will let it bounce at the 36-yard line, and Shepherd will take over with pretty good field position here. 41 seconds to go before halftime. So we'll see how Shepherd elects to play this with those timeouts in their back pocket. Travis, what are you expecting from the Rams?
I could see them possibly trying to run the ball here on first down, knowing that they have 3 timeouts. They don't want to be in a situation where they're going to be locked in to a 2nd and 10 and 3rd and 10, so why not run the ball early on in the drive? You might catch them sleeping, maybe pop something long. Malachi Brown has been red hot after that 100-yard kick return, so maybe put the ball in his hands, maybe he gets you something, and that can kind of change the complexion of how you're going to call your plays, but you don't want to put yourself and box yourself into a corner where you're facing a 2nd and 10 or a 3rd and 10, especially when you got timeouts. Use them.
First down and 10 for the Rams here. 40 seconds to go. Up by 4 at 14-10. Seth Morgan in the shotgun formation. 2 receivers go to the near side. For the Rams here right before halftime, it's Batten and Dorner, and then to the far side, Jeremiah Taylor. Rams going to come out and throw, and Batten, it's through his hands and intercepted. Diaz coming away with for Edinboro, and that's the reason why you wouldn't want to throw it there, as it now sets up Edinboro on the Shepherd side of the field, Travis.
Run the ball. Just run the ball. Very few bad things can happen if you run the ball in that scenario. They know that you're going to want to try to attack, put the pedal to the metal, and get some points before first half is over. Run the ball. Then call a timeout, and then you got a 2nd and manageable, possibly a 3rd and manageable. But when you go out there and you're just trying to chuck the ball around like that, you really put yourself in difficult situations. It was an unforced error that time by the Rams offense.
Batten couldn't haul it in. It was a fine pass from Morgan. Hit him in the hands, but deflection leads to the interception. And now taking over on the Shepherd side of the field is Edinboro from the 43. Carlisle looking to the far side, complete to Watkins. Down to about the 36-yard line. You only have 1 timeout left. Clock rolling to 24 seconds, and now they are going to get a free timeout as a Shepherd Ram is injured back around midfield. I think that's Nathan Muley down there on the field for the Rams, so that would be a big loss if that is, in fact, number 45, Nathan Muley. With 23 seconds to go, 14-10 our score. And Travis, with the injury, that has the clock stopping for Edinboro.
The Fighting Scots have been able to make that 1 timeout stand tall here at the end of the first half. And you got to think, they have one of the better kickers in the PSAC, so you figure they're able to get a first down, maybe a couple more yards after that. They're going to be well within his range as far as a field goal. So if they're able to pull within 1 or even have a shot at even taking the lead before the end of this first half, that shows a lot of resilience for this Edinboro football team.
Muley able to walk off on his own power, so potentially just a cramp there for the big D lineman.
It's still early in the season. You're going to see that from some of the players. Certainly saw that last week. It was very hot in Shepherdstown last week. First game of the year. You got that adrenaline going.
Yeah, this is nice.
This is nice. We could deal with this for the rest of the year. Nice overcast day, little breeze, good football weather.
23 seconds to go before halftime. 14-10, Rams on top. Muley getting some hydration on the sideline. Second down and about 3. Carlisle pumps once. Looks deep for Stanfield in the end zone. Incomplete. Great play by Naeem Alexander. He was beat initially, but he came back, got a hand on that ball as Stanfield was trying to look it in and knocked the ball away. That'll bring up third down still. 3rd down and 3.
Good offense, better defense that time. That defender did a good job of tracking that ball down. Like we mentioned, Stanfield, one of the better wide receivers you're going to face in the PSAC. And most times, if he gets behind you, it's usually good night, Irene. But that time, the defensive back for the Rams able to track it down and knock that ball free and denying them the touchdown.
Tegan Brown on the field for Edinboro, one of the taller receivers in this group, the 6'1 receiver. They go underneath the Stanfield. Stanfield goes down at about the 30-yard line, 8 seconds. They'll have to burn that timeout. Interesting to see them go underneath, and then as they went underneath, Stanfield probably should have tried to go down right away. 8 seconds. You do have time here. It's first down and 10 to potentially run one more play, but it is risking it because you're out of timeouts.
It has to be something to the sideline where you're just going to take a shot.
Or the end zone.
Yeah, or the end zone. You're going to have to take a shot. But it was almost like they were trying to set up a play like asking the kicker, where do you want the ball? Like on which hash do you want the ball? But again, I agree with you. Stanfield, just too much dancing, burning up time. Get that first down, go down. You might even have a chance to run up to the line and get something else going, but you put yourself in a position where you have to burn that time out. And now they got a tough decision to make. Do they risk not being able to kick the ball by going for another play, or you just go ahead and take the conservative approach and bring out your veteran, accomplished kicker, see if he can cut into this lead?
This would be about a 46-yard field goal. So, would be a big kick, but Martin does have a big leg. I think ideally you'd like a little bit closer. And also, I guess you could look at it as you get the ball to start the second half. You're still trailing even with the field goal, so it doesn't make too much of a difference, but it could play big later in the ball game. So I'm thinking they may try to get the field goal set up here unless they have something wide open for a touchdown, but we'll see. First down and 10 from the 29. Carlisle looking to throw under some heat. Cowser under the chase. Throw toward the end zone for Stanfield. Incomplete with 1 second.
Are they going to give him the 1 second?
I'm not sure. Depends on what the officials want to rule. I wonder if they would take another shot at it or bring on the field goal unit. It looks like they're going to bring on the field goal unit. They're going to give them the 1 second.
That's a good call. That's a good call. When Stanfield batted the ball down, there was still 1 second left on the clock, and that last one ticked off. So good job by the referees of staying on top of the clock. And right now, Edinboro has a chance to chip away at this lead. And like you said, setting themselves up in a pretty good position, getting the ball back to start the second half.
It'll be a 46-yard field goal for Reed Martin. His kick is up. It looks to be good.
Man.
From 46 yards, it was hooking left, but it just hooked inside the uprights. And Edinboro gets some momentum heading into the second half. Our score at halftime, Shepherd 14, Edinboro 13. This is Shepherd University Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. We're back in 2 minutes.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Mommy, where does flavor come from?
Well, when people love food, they cook it on a Traeger grill. Meat, corn, even pie. And then the Traeger does the rest, which brings everyone to celebrate this beautiful thing that they've created. Because when you share delicious food with your friends, that's the flavor of life.
Shop now and save at Orsini's today.
This is Senator Patricia Rucker. My record shows that I have led the fight for legislation to provide opportunity for West Virginians, strengthen families, protect our children, and improve education. But there is more work yet to do. West Virginia is on the rise, but we're still playing catch-up. That's why I'm asking for your vote, so that I can go back to Charleston and continue the progress we have made.
Paid for by Rucker for West Virginia, Mike Holtz, Treasurer, rucker4wv.com. We're at the half. Time for a scoring recap, stats and analysis, scores from around the PSAC and Super Region 1, the Division 1 Top 25, and the latest on the West Virginia University Mountaineers and Marshall University Thundering Herd. Let's get it started as we go back to the field and rejoin our TV 10 broadcast team.
Welcome you back here to Edinboro University. Our score, Shepherd 14, Edinboro 13, after the Reed Martin field goal good from 46 yards. It's a 4-play, 14-yard drive set up by the Shepherd interception right before halftime. Our scoring drive summary is brought to you by Paul Espinoza for State Senate, an effective, fiscally conservative voice for the 16th District. We'll now get into our halftime show, brought to you by the Mansion Freddie Law Firm in Martinsburg, where it's about seeking justice for you. Go to wvjusticelawyers.com. Travis, what were your thoughts on that first half?
It was excellent football. Again, just a treat to come out here and watch two quality ball clubs going at it, 13-14 at the half. It was a good ebb and flow to it. Again, Shepherd, both teams actually having chances and leaving opportunities on the field to put some points on the board, but Shepherd's still able to make enough plays to be out on top. And again, special teams has been key for this Rams success early on this season. You want to talk about the electrifying play of the game? I don't want to tip my hand, but right now it's going to go to Malachi Brown with a 100-yard kick return. That's pretty electrifying in my book. But now you're starting to see Edinboro. They're able to settle into a rhythm a little bit, get that running game established where the quarterback isn't exposed to those predictable passing situations, because it's something where that's just not the strength of his game. He's more of a mobile running threat, so you really don't want to put him in those situations. And again, it's been good adjustments by both coaching staff, so it's just been a quality football game so far. But again, the Rams just have to just settle into a groove, go ahead and get back to the run game, and that's going to set up your play action pass. That's going to keep your offense on schedule, and that's going to help you win this ball game. And again, Edinboro has shown that they are up to the challenge, and they've got some playmakers of their own.
Let's go over some first half stats. We'll start with the Rams. Seth Morgan, 8 of 15 in that first half. That's just 53% completion percentage, 115 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. For the running game for the Rams, Nazir Russell leads the team at the half with 5 carries for 18 yards. Malachi Brown, 5 carries, 17 yards. And then on the Edinboro side first we'll go to the receivers. For Shepherd, Cam Dorner, 5 catches, 76 yards, and a touchdown. Good first half for him. Cordell Batten, 2 catches, 24 yards. Brown has 1 catch in the first half, and Jeremiah Taylor, 1 catch for 9 yards. So he's been pretty much shut down after the big week he had last week against Southern Connecticut State. Now, on the defensive side of things for the Rams, Emilio Pena leads the way in tackles. Kevin Kauser is second with 5, Comayau with 3, O'Neill with 2. And we'll now move over to Edinboro for them in that first half. Matt Carlisle, 10 of 21, 47% completion percentage, 63 yards. But had some big plays on the ground, did Edinboro. Carlisle was 70 yards rushing on his 5 attempts, had that 64-yard run. Brian Trobel got off to a slow start, but finished the half pretty good. 9 carries for 55 yards in total, had a 36-yard touchdown run. Hopkins had that 1 carry for 8 yards and a catch for 12 yards. More on the receiving side. Stanfield had some drops early, finishes the first half, 4 catches, 37 yards. Bailey with 2 catches for 12 yards. Watkins with 2 catches for 5 yards. Hopkins, of course, as I mentioned, 1 catch for 12 yards. On the defensive side for Edinboro, Diaz leads the team with 9 tackles and also had that interception. Malcolm Johnson with 5 tackles. Toby Klein with 3. And Caden Spiegel with the sack and 3 total tackles. Travis, what do you think these two teams, what kind of stands out to you from the stats in that first half?
Well, from the first half, it just seems like Edinboro has settled into a little bit more of a rhythm as opposed to that Rams offense. Whereas Edinboro's kind of like we mentioned, they've been together longer, so they kind of are familiar what their strengths and what their weaknesses are, and you kind of saw that play out at the end of the first half, they were able to settle into a groove, look like they were doing the things that they wanted to do, whereas you still see that Shepherd offense still trying to fill things out and trying to establish that identity. Are we a running team? Are we a passing team? If we're a passing team, are we going to use that play-action pass? So just a lot more questions on that sideline for the Rams. And even though they have the lead, you can certainly feel like the momentum is on the sideline of the Fighting Scots. And looking back at the keys of the game, right now it's looking kind of tough for Shepherd because protect the ball. They've already given up 2 turnovers. Stick with the run. They really haven't done that as well. But they have been one thing that the one thing that has been their saving grace so far is keep that special teams trending in the right direction. And you look at that big 100-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. That has been the difference in the game, is that they've been able to get that big play on special teams to put them out on top. But right now, it's going to be interesting to see what adjustments are going to be made and see if the Rams are going to have a little bit more balance where they're coming out where it's not going to be all run as opposed to all pass, and throw in some shorter passes that you saw there at the end. They tried to go for a shallow pass over the middle. It was a dropped pass that led to a turnover. But so far, they've been relying solely on just trying to throw those deep passes to the sideline. So you want to see more of a mix, more of them attacking the middle of the field. And so far, we haven't heard his name so far, Dustin Fisher. He's been the odd man out so far. So get that tight end involved, and that way you're going to make that defense respect the middle of the field. If you want to attack vertical on the outside, then you need to keep those safeties pinned inside the hash marks, and the Rams offense hasn't been able to do that so far.
Really haven't seen any of the guys you would expect to attack that middle, like Barry Hill out of the slot. He hasn't done anything. Of course, Fisher had that touchdown catch last week, but besides that, he wasn't even targeted throughout the game. So it's a completely different Shepherd offense than what we are used to seeing, not only with the guys in terms of names, but they're not running a lot of the same stuff, not really using their tight end, which typically is a big part of this offense. So first half stats brought to you by Larry DeMarco at Modern Realty Results. If you're looking for a home in the Tri-State, they have you covered. And then looking at some team stats real quick here before we send it back to Colin, the two teams are almost identical in a lot of things. You're going to look at it at the half, and Edinboro has 8.9 yards per carry, but they've had 2 really big plays. You take those away, it's pretty equal. Those 2 plays almost equaling just over 100 yards, 106 yards. It's 15 carries for Edinboro for 133, but again, the 70-yard run, the 36-yard run add to that. So the average is probably a little bit less than that when you take away the big plays that they've given up. Shepherd, 14 attempts, but just 36 yards. And then both teams have just 8 first downs. Both teams nearly identical in the time of possession, 16:38 to 13:22 for Shepherd. The turnovers have gone the Edinboro way. The penalties haven't really been a factor. Yards per play, Shepherd has the edge at 5.73 to 5.44. So just kind of a slow offensive first half for both these teams, but eventually Edinboro and Shepherd kind of got some momentum toward the end of the first half, so we'll see who can come out on top. 14-13 our score. We got about 10:40 on the first half clock. We'll take a 2-minute break, and on the other side of that break, we'll send it back to Colin McLaughlin in the studio, who will have some halftime scores for you. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
After a car accident, what do you get when you call Mansion Ferretti?
You get more experience from a local law firm with over 115 years of combined service.
More respect from a team who treats clients like their own family.
And more fight, because we want you to get every dollar you deserve.
Experience, respect, results. If you've been injured, that's what you want in your lawyer.
And that's what you'll get when you call us. Car accident? Get more with Mansion Ferretti. 304-264-8505.
The Honda HR-V, CR-V, Pilot, Passport, and Ridgeline. They all have one thing in common. They never back off from a challenge. Available with all-wheel drive, the Honda SUV lineup has the performance you can count on and the capability to amaze. It's no wonder Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com named Honda the 2022 Best Value Brand.
CMA's Honda of Winchester, 3985 Valley Pike. CMA, moving lives forward.
Based on 2022 brand image awards from Kelley Blue Book, visit KBB.com for more information.
Ollie's VIP North Side is the best spot to catch all your favorite teams. Join us Monday for dollar wings and Monday Night Football. Thursdays on the patio for the cornhole tourney. Friday night lights with happy hour specials, or Saturdays during or after the college games for steak night. Get a ribeye or New York steak for just $26.95. Ollie's has great food and drink menus too, along with 17 TVs to watch any game of your choice from anywhere at the bar or their outdoor patio and fire pit. So stop by and see for yourself today at 36 Veronica Drive in Martinsburg. That's Ollie's VIP North Side. We'll see you for the game.
One of the questions lawyers get asked the most is, what is my case worth?
I'm Steven Skinner, and this is my brother Andrew with Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers.
The truth is, it's very difficult for a lawyer to pinpoint a number because every case is different.
We get to know each situation and we'll give you an idea of what your case is worth and why.
The sooner we get involved, the better we can do getting you the compensation you deserve.
Google Skinner Lawyers or go to skinnerwins.com. We'll treat you like family.
Welcome into the Extra Point Halftime Scoreboard Show on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. I'm Colin McLaughlin as we've hit halftime between Edinboro and Shepherd as the Rams on top by a score of 14-13. Let's now take a look around the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference with some other scores going on right now in the second quarter with 3 minutes to go is when it was last updated. It is Seton Hill leading Shippensburg 14-10. Again, 3 minutes remaining in the second quarter in that one. And now we have a scoring update, I believe. Or no, it was just a incorrect graphic at the top. For some reason, it says Millersville 8-0 over Gannon, but it is 14-0 like I have there for you on TV 10. 14-0 Seton Hill taking on, or excuse me, Millersville taking on Gannon. 14-10 Seton Hill over Shippensburg. And then at the half as well, in this one, getting ready to start the third quarter, it's Kutztown 20, California University of Pennsylvania 7. And then just starting the second quarter as I quickly switch over here for you, only one game with a 1 o'clock kickoff at now in the second quarter. It's Bloomsburg 7, Clarion 0. And then other games going on in the PSAC later on today. Kicking off at 4 o'clock will be East Stroudsburg and IUP. At 6 p.m. it will be Westchester at Slippery Rock and Lock Haven at Mercyhurst. Let's now get some NCAA Division I top 25 scores for you, as almost at halftime between number 1 Georgia and Ball State. It is Georgia in control like expected, up 31-0 now over Ball State with 37 seconds to go in the second quarter. Number 5 Ohio State leads Youngstown State 28-7 in the second quarter with 3 minutes to go. Number 7 Penn State leads Delaware 28-7 with 3:40 to go in the second quarter. Number 10, Notre Dame up 3-0 over NC State. That one currently in a delay. 1:04 remaining in the second quarter. It is Baylor right now leading number 12, Utah, 10-3. 10 seconds to go in the second quarter. It's number 15, Kansas State, 20, Troy, 10. 2:35 to go in the second quarter. It's number 22, Colorado, leading Nebraska, 10-0. Those are the current games in top 25 action in NCAA. And lastly, a scoring update now for you, as one high school game currently in action in the area, as the Jefferson Cougars are taking on the Spring Valley Timberwolves in Shenandoah Junction. 6:54 to go in the second quarter between Jefferson and Spring Valley, and that one now tied at 7, as Jefferson just scored and is currently kicking off to Spring Valley. So those are your halftime scoreboard show scores for around the PSAC, NCAA Division I, and high school as well. We'll step aside, take another 2-minute break here, and on the other side of that break, you'll hear from Nick and Travis with the call of the second half as your score: Shepherd 14, Edinboro 13.
At Dutch Miller Automotive, we've grown quite a bit over the last 60 years, but our core principles remain the same. We believe in treating our customers and our team members like friends and family, and we see it as our obligation to give back to all the communities we are so fortunate to do business in. In just West Virginia alone, we've grown from one location on the west end of Huntington to 10 rooftops employing more than 500 Mountaineers. Check out the inventory from all of our stores at DutchMillerAuto.com. Dutch Miller Automotive Group, West Virginia proud.
As a lifelong Jefferson County resident, Paul Espinosa has been a champion for the Eastern Panhandle. Paul is the effective, fiscally conservative voice we need in the West Virginia Senate. He's fought for job creation, student-centered education, the rights of the unborn, protecting our family farms, and was a leader in passing income tax relief for all West Virginians. When residents of the 16th Senatorial District cast their votes for their next senator, the choice is clear. Paul Espinosa for West Virginia State Senate. Paid for by Espinosa for Senate, Mary C. Espinosa, Treasurer.
Hi, Crescia Hornby here. Larry DeMarco, broker of Modern Realty Results, believes he has some of the best real estate agents in the Eastern Panhandle. Agents at Modern Realty Results have years of experience and knowledge of the local real estate market. Agents within the office work as a team to provide quality customer service. We strive to always ensure client satisfaction through handling every transaction with honesty and integrity, all while offering competitive rates. Modern Realty Results is veteran-owned and managed. Please call us at 262-4222, modernrealtyresults.com.
My kids, you know I want the best for you, don't you? We need to have a conversation.
End-of-life planning is no one's favorite discussion, but the relief of having everything in place when the hour of need arrives is a gift. Give it to your family. Plan ahead with us.
Brown Funeral Homes, a leading provider of cremations, invites you to explore the many flexible options of cremation. From environmental considerations to the benefit of greatly reduced cost, it may be the perfect answer for your family. Online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
We welcome you back here to Edinboro University. Our score here at the half, Shepherd 14, Edinboro 13. Nick Verzolini, Travis Smith, happy to have you with us. Colin McLaughlin just gave you that scoreboard update at the half. Great job by Colin. And our cameraman this afternoon, Dylan Bishop, as we mentioned earlier, the best cameraman in the Eastern Panhandle. But that's not all he does. He's a man of many talents. So, Travis, as we get ready for the second half here, about 2 minutes before halftime, what are some things you're looking from each team to improve on to begin the third quarter? It feels like you could almost say the same thing from each team.
And you could, and I think Edinboro is a little bit further ahead of the curve where they've kind of settled into what their strengths are. And that was something that they were able to do the first half. They had some successful drives at the end of that first half to pull to within one. So far, Shepherd has relied on big plays. They had that great opening drive, but the offense has sputtered since then. Luckily for the Rams, a big special teams play has put them out on top, and the defense has been able to stand tall. The defense has been a bend but don't break mentality so far. But again, you don't want to keep on putting that type of pressure on the defense week in and week out. There was a lot of times last week where that Shepherd Rams defense really had to dig them out of some holes. They have the talent. They have playmakers on that side of the ball, but it's something where you don't want to get caught going to the well too often. So the Rams have to settle into a little bit more of a groove. Maybe they go back to that a similar script to the way they open the game and establish a little bit more of a rhythm, a little bit more of a balance between run and pass, a little bit more balance as far as mixing passes all over the field, not just going to the sidelines, showing the Edinboro defense that they can attack them over the middle. That's going to make those safeties have to play a little bit more discipline on the inside. That's going to open up those big shots to the sidelines. But again, the Rams just need to stick with the run. When they're able to run the ball, they don't have to get a lot of yards. It's going to keep that offense on schedule, and it's going to keep you in manageable passing downs where you're not putting so much pressure and focus on your quarterback. So again, it's just something where that Rams offense just needs to settle down, get into a groove, and most importantly, run the football. You still got to figure out who's going to be your bell cow back as this season goes down the road, and no better way than to do it now because you're going to start facing a lot tougher opponents down the road. So you want to figure out who's who right now as opposed to trying to figure it out on the fly down the road against some top-notch opponents.
Edinboro will get the ball here to start the second half. Our second half kickoff is brought to you by Ollie's VIP Northside, the best local spot to catch sports or hang out with friends. Stop by 36 Veronica Drive in Martinsburg. Ollie's VIP will see you for the game. James Bozick will kick it away for the Rams. Again, leading 14-13 here at the half. Back deep for Edinboro will be Watkins and Stanfield this time. Seen Bailey back there a few times, but it's going to be Stanfield and Watkins back deep for the Fighting Scots. James Bozick to kick it away for the Rams, and the second half is underway from Edinboro. This time will be Stanfield fielding from inside his own 4-yard line. Has a little bit of a seam up the middle and gets out to about the 25-yard line before he's brought down. Miles Greer in on the tackle for Shepherd.
Greer's been very active on special teams, either as a returner, showing that he is a very willing and aggressive tackler on kickoff. And no better way than to earn some more time on the field than going out there and taking care of business on special teams. So hats off to Miles Greer. He's making the absolute most of the opportunities he's getting out there on the field. He's putting a lot of good stuff on tape for the coaches.
Jaleel Singleton in on that tackle as well. And Greer, I feel like Shepherd got a steal with him. Over 100 tackles in his senior season of high school. Was first-team All-Metropolitan. And only ends up at Shepherd, which was kind of surprising to me. But here's a big run on the outside, but it could be coming back for Roble and Edinboro on the carry. Trouble, excuse me. Trouble on the carry, but a flag back in the backfield. This should be coming back, Travis.
And it looks like the guilty party is going to be Aaron Hopkins, the tight end, blocking out there on the edge and just got too much jersey, and he actually took the defender to the ground. And he had the key block on that play, but just a little bit too much. And again, you talk about the dangers of running out wide. You put a lot of stress on that blocker out there because he's exposed. There's only so much that he can do out there on the edge because you're so close to the referees. Anything that goes a little bit over the line, the referee's going to be right there to see it. And again, penalties have really hurt and stifled the momentum of Edinboro. They'll make a couple big plays, but then they get called back due to penalties. So what started out as a good start for Edinboro gets backed up by 10 yards.
Yeah, will now be first down and 20 from the 15. Of course, if that holding doesn't occur, maybe it wasn't going to be a good start for Edinboro as speed option play with Isaac Bernard in at quarterback. And Trouble running back to the other side of the field, did more running side to side than he did up the field. But Isaac Bernard now in at quarterback. As we saw in that first half, Matt Carlisle and didn't really have a great completion percentage. I believe it was 47% at the half. So they turned to Bernard here, the guy that was their starter last season. Better passer. Carlisle seems to be the better runner. I think is a fair assessment based on what we've seen in the two games over the last 2 years. Bernard had some decent passes last year's game.
Exactly. He completed 28 of 51, 55% of his passes for 338 yards, had a touchdown and 2 interceptions, also sacked 4 times in that game, so he was able to have some success under duress.
Bernard will throw underneath complete out to about the 20-yard line. Bernard throwing off all of his extra equipment, the hand warmer, did it all out there. Whatever works, I guess. So it'll be third down and long, third and about 22.
But now you go to your former starter. He's going to have a familiarity with the playbook that Carlisle doesn't.
15.
And there was a lot of times early in that first half where Carlisle was just missing wide open targets, and you just felt like the coaches just felt like they couldn't let that keep happening. If you have those opportunities, you got to have somebody who's going to be able to put the ball on the spot.
Bernard will throw here on 3rd and 15. He throws underneath, complete to Stanfield, has some good blocking, but turns it up and short of the first down, and Shepherd forces a 3-and-out. Naeem Alexander coming up to make the tackle for the Rams.
Good job for that Rams defense, just playing down the distance. All you have to do is keep everything in front of you. It was 3rd and a mile. So as long as you don't give up a big shot over the top, you should be in pretty good shape. And again, we've mentioned it often, the Rams defense very good at swarming to the football, and that time they were able to do that and forcing a punt on 4th and 10.
Greer standing back at his own 31-yard line. Martin's punt a little bit delayed. It's a high kick. Greer goes back and fields it, and that will be fair catch interference on Travis Stanfield as Miles Greer makes a great catch on the punt.
That was an incredible play by Greer. He's just you get getting flagged on the play and you still come down with the catch cleanly. And that's been something in years past for Shepherd where they had trouble finding that consistent punt returner, but Greer certainly grabbed that job and taken command.
I mean, so far, special teams this year seems way up from the last 2 years.
Yeah, where you had strength, certainly with the offense and the defense, where it was kind of shaky on special teams, but now it seems kind of a role reversal, where the offense is still having some difficulty finding its footing, but the special teams have been there to supply those big plays.
Special teams has been good. And, I mean, they've had their moments over the last few seasons, but just from a consistency standpoint, you feel better about Bozick so far. He hasn't had a lot of opportunities to really prove it, but based on what we've seen in practice, and, of course, with him kicking off, it's almost always a touchback. You have good punter in Barrick. And so far the return men have done a nice job, and really the coverage has been good, which was something that they've struggled with in the past. So first down and 10 from the 38. Morgan looking to throw here on first down. Looking deep over the middle and hauled in by Cordell Batten at the 34. Excuse me. That is Cam Dorner coming up and making the catch. Dorner with his 6th catch of the afternoon.
And he's a bit shaken up on the play, but walks off under his own power. Had to go up and get it, and they kind of exposed that midsection. So when they came to the ground, the defender was all in his chest. So he has to come over to the sidelines and catch his breath a little bit.
Hill in motion from right to left. They'll run Malachi Brown up the middle. Brown having a nice run here inside the 30-yard line down to about the 29 before he's brought down on the play. He'll be second down for the Rams and about 5.
And Shepherd lucky not to get a penalty on that play. Barry Hill went in motion and looked like he started to move up towards the line of scrimmage before the ball was snapped. So the Rams lucky not to get a penalty on that play.
Jester and Fisher, the tight ends for the Rams, on 2nd and 5 from the 29 of Edinboro. 11 minutes to go in this third quarter. Taylor, the receiver, to the far side. Hill to the near, and Brown the back. They'll take the snap. Morgan with time. Throws underneath. Complete to Brian Jester for his first catch of the season. And that will bring up 3rd and short for Shepherd. 4-yard reception on that one. 3rd down and about 1.
And Jester, the bigger body of the tight ends that the Rams have available to him, 6'3", 245-pound redshirt freshman, and that time Malachi Brown running that wheel route out to the sideline was able to really push the defense back and create a little bit of space underneath for Jester to get that ball and set up this 3rd and 1 for the Rams offense.
Taylor and Hill flip sides. Brown the back. Rosnage in as the second tight end. Brown has the first down, and Moore bounces off a tackler. Malachi gets a block from Barry Hill. Brown inside the 10, down to the 5-yard line. First down and more for Shepherd. Malachi Brown bouncing off defenders and then making men miss for the Rams.
And again, awesome kick-out block by Jack Rosnich, the tight end, 6'2", 230-pound redshirt junior from Huntingtown, Maryland. Setting up that zone read. You like having that wing, that fullback, H-back type player. When you're running that zone to one side, you have that kick out on the backside. So that way it gives your running back that option. Either he can hit the whole play sign, or he also has that option for the cutback.
The run Brown again, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Shepherd. Brown getting a great hole, and he scores easily from the 7-yard line to put the Rams up.
And again, nothing fancy. You run behind 44, good things happen. That time, Rosnich folding up into the hole. He was the lead block on that play, and why not? He set up the big block last time. You go back to him again, down inside the red zone, and the Rams able to put the ball in the end zone.
Shepherd extends its lead to 20-13. This extra point to make it an 8-point game. Bozick's kick is up, and it is good. 21-13 our score. We'll take a 30-second break. This is Shepherd University Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, trip nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
We welcome you back here to Edinboro, Pennsylvania, north of Pittsburgh. 9:26 to go in the third quarter. Shepherd extends its lead at the 21-13 over Edinboro. Scots getting the ball back. Nick Verzolini, Travis Smith, happy to have you with us for Shepherd Rams football here on TV 10. And Bozick kicks it away. It's a short kick this time, fielded around the 13-yard line.
Ooh.
And this could be trouble. Stanfield gets by the kicker, Bozick. Luckily, the Rams still had defenders in his way, getting it all the way out, though, to the 45-yard line for Stanfield.
Big hit on the play that time. Samuel Evans flying down on coverage, delivers a big hit. One problem, you run past the guy with the ball. And Stanfield very dangerous. You see Shepherd trying to limit his opportunities to get the ball in his hands. Stanfield very dangerous in open space, so you're starting to see a variety of kicks. And that's nice when you have a kicker that can change things up. Sometimes you want him to boom him. Other times he's going to pooch it. Sky ball is going to limit those return opportunities. So right now, Shepherd's special teams showing a lot of versatility.
First down and 10 for Bernard in the offense. They complete it to Stanfield around the midfield stripe. Going to come up about the 48-yard line. But big catch and run for Cam Dorner on that last drive. And then Malachi Brown with some big runs as well. Shepherd caps it off at the touchdown run of Brown. Our scoring drive summary is brought to you by Paul Espinoza for State Senate, an effective, fiscally conservative voice for the 16th District. Second down and about 7 for Edinboro after the 3-yard completion to Stanfield. Ball on the 48 of the Scots. Bernard looking to toss it this time to the outside to Hopkins. Hopkins running hard, gets to midfield. Just a 2-yard gain. Grantham and Pena bringing them down. It'll be 3rd and 5.
Edinboro ran that play in the first half, and Hopkins was able to pick up a big chunk. The play following that was the big run up the middle to Trobel. So let's see if Edinboro tries to go back to the well once again.
This feels like a big moment in the game for the Fighting Scots. Down by 8, 3rd and 5 at midfield. Bernard takes the snap, throws it near side complete to Stanfield. He is now locked in. Naeem Alexander pushes him out of bounds on the other side of the Shepherd stripes down to the 42-yard line. It's a first down and 10 for Edinboro, an 8-yard gain on the play.
And it's a tough situation for Edinboro because you have two quarterbacks. And right now you're looking at the quarterback, Isaac Bernard. Maybe doesn't have all of the outstanding physical tools that Carlisle has, but what he does have is experience and the steady hand on the wheel. And you're starting to see a lot more consistency and accuracy out of his throws.
7:32 to go. They'll run this time for the Scots. New back in the backfield there, Jerry Dinkins on the carry. And Dinkins with a nice run. Bring up second and short, gain of about 7 on the play.
Dinkins, the 5'10", 190-pound freshman from Plantation, Florida. He had a couple of carries last week. He had 5 carries for 14 yards. A tough outing versus Duquesne.
So Edinboro not going down without a fight. Second down and 2. Scots moving the football into Shepherd territory. Here's a deep shot for Hopkins. It's hauled in inside the 5-yard line before he's brought down. Grantham in coverage makes the tackle. Great throw by Isaac Bernard, setting up the Scots.
Touch. Good job. Able to step up confidently, deliver the ball on target. And last week, Isaac Bernard had to come in, and he went 3 for 5 in that ball game for 31 yards, but he got sacked 2 times just in the brief amount of time that he was in the game. So right now, the Fighting Scots offensive line a little bit more settled down. You're starting to see the benefit of having a veteran signal caller out there on the field because it seems like the offense is much more comfortable. Wildcat formation for the Fighting Scots.
And gets them down, I think, the 1-yard line. No signal from the officials yet on the carry there.
Big running
Keon
back.
Anderson, 6 foot, 225-pound sophomore.
It's a lot of beef in the backfield.
I was wondering if maybe they would do something with Carlisle down by the red zone, but it's again the Wildcat with Anderson. It's a high snap. He runs off right side, lowers the shoulder, and he's in. Touchdown, Edinboro.
Nothing fancy. You loaded up. You got a full house backfield. put the ball in the beefy guy's hands and let him do what beefy guys do. Move people out of the way.
So Anderson gets into the end zone to make it 21-19. They're going to go for 2. Bernard running back onto the field for this 2-point conversion play to tie the game. 5:40 to go in this third quarter. The Wildcat, I don't know if I've seen that since the Miami Dolphins. 21-19, 5:40 to go in the third.
And it's tough when you break out a formation like that. That's just one more thing that the opponent has to prepare for. It takes time away from their preparation to go up against your normal offense. You have just a small package of plays in there that you rep the heck out of it, and you hope that it can pay dividends like it just did there for the Fighting Scots.
Play clock just now starting as Edinboro looked a little dysfunctional here on this 2-point conversion attempt. Bernard takes the snap. It's an option play. Bernard fighting for the end zone. He's in. The 2-point conversion is good. And we are tied once again at 21 here with 5:40 to go in this third quarter. Let's take a 30-second break. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube, tied at 21.
Remember when you were a little kid and saw your first deer?
Oh, how cute.
As an adult, maybe you've had a different experience.
Where'd that come from?
Bambi mess up your dream machine? Call Cody's Auto Body today at 304-901-4777 and get the work done right the first time. Cody's Auto Body, 851 Wilston Street in Martinsburg, has a team of auto body professionals with a lifetime of experience putting your ride back together again, regardless of how it got that way. Cody's Auto Body.
We welcome you back. Tied at 21 between Edinboro and Shepherd here in week 2 of the college football season for Division II. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Travis Smith. Conversation here from the defense after that drive. Shepherd had a few opportunities to get the ball or get a stop, but Edinboro continued to convert on third downs, had the big play to Hopkins, and that set him up for the Wildcat touchdown run. Reed Martin will kick it away. 5:40 to go in this third quarter. We're tied at 21 between Shepherd and Edinboro. The kick is away. It's booted. Brown, though, will field. I'm sorry. Haley will field. And Haley getting it out to about the 30-yard line. Or not. McDowell, excuse me. Not Haley. Apologize for that. Christian McDowell on the return. 2 number 8s on the roster. Had it earlier. Got it wrong there.
McDowell a little banged up on that play, reaching for his knee. And to me, he's probably surprised that he doesn't have knee pads on. Put them on. That's what they're there for. I understand you want to be trendy and cool until somebody pops you in the kneecap, and then you're going to wish you had something down there. I want the old school Patrick Ewing knee pads. I want all the protection I can get.
They'll run that jet sweep with Cam Dorner, and Dorner gets stacked up on the outside. Coming up, making the tackle there, Zach Malpica, the linebacker, along with Malcolm Johnson. It was a 8-play, 55-yard drive capped off by the touchdown run from Keon Anderson. Our scoring drive summary brought to you by Paul Espinoza for State Senate, effective fiscally conservative voice for the 16th District. 2nd and 11 after the 1-yard loss on the play. Morgan in the gun, looking to throw this time. Morgan has a clean pocket, looks deep over the middle for Jeremiah Taylor, and it's incomplete just out of his outstretched arms. Reed Martin was in coverage to bring up 3rd and long. So Shepherd in a tough situation.
And they had success last drive running the ball behind Big Jack Rosnich. I don't know why you don't go back to that, and now you put yourself in a 3rd and long situation. You go with a jet sweep, they string it out, you don't get any yards, then you take a deep shot down the field. You're trying to take advantage of that cover 2 defense, but you missed.
3rd and 11 for Morgan in the offense. He has time to throw, fires a dart over the middle, complete to Taylor for a 1st down and more. across the 40 to the 44-yard line. Our third quarter presented to you on TV 10 by Smallwood and Small Insurance in Martinsburg. Your total insurance solution at 121 Administrative Drive. Call 304-263-3361. Get you our other third quarter sponsor here in just a moment. First down and 10 here, 4:22 to go, and a rolling clock in this third quarter. First and 10 for the Rams from the 44.
First and 10. Rosnage checked into the game. Let's see if they're using.
Maybe they heard you. They'll run Russell this time behind Rosnage and find positive yardage. Looked like.
And the Rams have used that formation a lot here in the game. It's a tight bunch, and they usually have that big fullback H-back tight lined up on the inside of that bunch, and then use him to do that kick-out block on the backside, or that time he just folds up into the line like more of your traditional lead type of play, and they're having success. Now you're 2nd and 6, and you got the whole playbook wide open, and now the defense has to respect the run on this series.
Now Pickup making that tackle. Second down here for the Rams. Morgan looking to throws it over the middle to a wide open Cordell Batten. Batten inside the 30. Down to about the 20-yard line goes Batten. He's tackled by Wise on the play. Good-looking crossing route from the freshman receiver.
And again, they're attacking the middle of the field. We talked about that early on in the game. It was strictly to the sidelines. And just Seth Morgan, he's just not a big arm type of quarterback. But if you allow him to work the middle of the field, work in between the hashes, that's going to open up things to the sidelines where he's not going to have to throw a cannonball to make a completion on the sideline. Mix it up, make the defense guard every blade of grass out there.
Brown back in the backfield, and he gets cranked by Ty Thornton. Coming through pretty much unblocked. Big D lineman. Hill checks out, Batten, and Ethan Williams run on for Shepherd. Our other third quarter sponsor, W. Harley Miller Systems, providing custom integration services like home and office automation, home theater, networking, audio, video distribution, and more. Call 304-350-1931 or visit WHMsystems.com. Second down and 9. They'll run Brown again. Brown stutter steps, comes back to the near side. Malachi spinning out of the tackle. Brown now throws a stiff arm, gets down to the 10. Good-looking run from Brown. Just refusing to go down and has it for first and goal for Shepherd.
And again, so many of his plays have come after contact. Just a very physical runner with the ball in his hands. He's doing it on offense and on special teams. It's going to take more than one or arm tackle to bring him down.
1:35 to go in this third quarter. Tied at 21 between Shepherd and Edinboro. They'll run play action here. Dump it down to Dorner. Dorner lowers the shoulder. Flag comes flying in. He's knocked out of bounds by a mile down short of the end zone. Just happen to see what you think that flag is for, Travis?
I think it's going to be holding. They had that bunch formation. Earlier in today's game, it was tight to the line, tight to the tackle box. This time they lined it out wide. They did that play action run away. The quarterback pulls and throws a bubble, and he has two blockers in front of him, but I think the wide receiver that was at the point grabbed a little bit too much jersey.
I call holding on Dustin Fisher, so
yeah,
that could be a drive killer for Shepherd.
And you usually, when you have that cluster, usually put your bigger, more physical guy at that point, because a lot of times that's how defenses are going to match up with it. They're going to put somebody right over top of him, and that time Fisher just hands once they get outside that tackle box. And again, you're out wide right in front of the referee, so if you're not minding your P's and Q's, they're going to ding you for a holding penalty. It's tough. It's a tough situation.
Brown again getting taped up, so Russell comes back in to run this one. And Russell gets the carry.
Oh, nice stutter step.
Splits through the hole and into the end zone. Touchdown, Shepherd. Nazir Russell with some excellent patience. And the Rams break the tie again. They take a lead at 27-21 with 1:04 to go in the third quarter. Bozic running on for the extra point.
I'll tell you what, right now, early on in this game, as far as player of the game, Jack Rosnich, when he's come in, he has made an impact. He hasn't had a carry or a catch, but his impact has loomed large so far in the game because the past 2 touchdowns have come behind his lead block. Outstanding work today, young man.
Bozic on to attempt the point after. It is up. And it's good. Shepherd extending its lead now at the 28-21. The lead back in hands of the Rams. 1:04 to go in the third. Let's take a 30-second break. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
I'm Jonathan Bodwell, Bodwell Insurance Solutions, your local Medicare and life insurance agency. We are here to help you navigate the Medicare maze. We represent all of the major carriers, and you do not pay any more to go through us than if you go directly through a carrier. But if you go through us, you have a local professional to help you with all your Medicare needs, not a voice that could be in some other part of the world. Bodwell Insurance Solutions, your local Medicare agency. BodwellInsuranceSolutions.com or 304-283-0864.
We welcome you back here to Edinboro. 28-21, Shepherd on top of the Fighting Scots. 1:04 to go in this third quarter, and what has turned into a very exciting back-and-forth ball game between Edinboro and Shepherd. Bozic will kick it away, and he sends a high kick again, fielded about the 12-yard line. This time it's Watkins. Could be trouble. Bozic knocked him out of bounds. I wonder how Shepherd feels about their kicker running out to make these tackles on back-to-back plays. This time he actually made the tackle.
You know, Mike Watkins, he's going to hear that during film session. You got pushed out of bounds by a kicker on that play. And it seems like the past 2 kickoffs, I don't know if it's by design, but Bozic has seemed like he's kicking the ball too low, where it's not really traveling that far and it's going higher. And that time Edinboro was able to get a good return on it, but it just seems like he's getting too far underneath the ball and it's going too high as opposed to far. I'm sure the coaches would prefer touchbacks as opposed to those sky kicks right there, especially with his leg strength.
At least it's a kicker that's 6'3".
Yeah, comes in handy.
We'll run this ball up the right side. Short gain on the play, bring up second down for Edinboro. Hopkins is in the backfield. Stanfield and Watkins are the receivers to the far side. It's 30 seconds to go. They'll have to get a playoff before the end of this third quarter. 15 on the play clock. Bernard and Edinboro with a lot of patience so far. Hopkins remaining in the backfield to look to throw. Throw it underneath, complete. Close to the first down marker. I think he's going to be about a yard short. Is Watkins. I'll bring up third down.
And that's what Bernard brings to the offense, where you're able to go out there and you're not relying on those big plays. You're able to get those easy pitch and catch plays that can just move the chains and keep the offense on schedule.
So that'll do it for the third quarter. We will take a 60-second break. Our score, Shepherd 28, Edinboro 21. It'll be third down and 2 when we come back. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. Back in 1 minute.
Mayhem is everywhere.
I'm your new bangs, and you can't stop staring at me. That's it. Just tilt the rearview mirror over here. And while you're checking me out more times than a library book, your car is wandering into that lane over there. More bangs. Neat. And if you've got cut rate insurance, you could be paying for this yourself. So get Allstate.
Call Martinsburg Allstate agent Gary Kelly today at 304-263-4596.
One of the questions lawyers get asked the most is, what is my case worth?
I'm Steven Skinner, and this is my brother Andrew with Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers.
The truth is, it's very difficult for a lawyer to pinpoint a number because every case is different.
We get to know each situation and we'll give you an idea of what your case is worth and why.
The sooner we get involved, the better we can do getting you the compensation you deserve.
Google Skinner Lawyers or go to SkinnerWins.com. We'll treat you like family.
Back, fourth quarter between Shepherd and Edinboro. 28-21, Rams on top. It will be third down and 2 from the 47-yard line of Edinboro for the Fighting Scots, who are bringing out that Wildcat formation on third and 2. Anderson in the backfield. He'll take the snap, run off the left side. Anderson falls forward right at the midfield stripe for a first down.
And he was very close to breaking that one. A lot of times when you're able to pack everybody in like that, if you're able to get past that initial surge, a lot of times it's a lot of green space after that. So the Rams defense lucky that they were able to bring down the big banger just for a first down and not much more.
Our fourth quarter presented to you on TV 10 by Smallwood and Small Insurance in Martinsburg, your total insurance solution at 121 Administrative Drive. Call 304-263-3361. First down and 10 from midfield for Bernard and the Scots offense. Bernard takes the snap, under some pressure, throws underneath on a screen pass, complete, and tackled at about the 46-yard line. Coming up and making the tackle for Shepherd was Jack Baxter.
And Baxter did a good job. He almost had a chance to make a play on the football. A lot of times when you see those fumbles happen is when those defenders are able to come up from behind undetected and punch the ball out. So the ball carrier very lucky to come away maintaining possession of that football.
Dinkins with the catch for Edinboro. Back in the backfield now is Brian Trobel. And he'll fake it to Trobel. Bernard still doesn't find much room, but would have been, or is a lot better play than what Trobel would have gotten. No gain on the play. Looks like Grantham came up to hit the quarterback as Trobel was smacked in the backfield. I think it was Baxter again coming in to blow that one up.
Good read that time by Bernard, and again, he just has come into this game and just has been the steady hand on the wheel, that steadying force for the Edinboro offense.
28-21, 13 minutes to go in this fourth quarter as some of the D linemen having to check out. Bernard under some pressure on a blitz, throws incomplete, trying to get it out quickly to Watkins. Harrison in coverage. Grantham was flying through the hole, brings up third down. Sorry, it should be fourth down now. Fourth down at 5, and Edinboro will be forced to punt. So a big stop for the Rams defense, Travis.
In trouble that time. He had the difficult assignment of trying to pick up Grantham on that blitz and wasn't able to get a clean block on him, and that kind of disrupted the timing for Bernard to get that out. That was a quick play to the sidelines, and just that pressure in his face was just enough to make that pass go errant out of bounds.
Martin will kick it away. It's a high kick. Greer trying to chase it down. He's going to let it bounce, and it takes a Shepherd bounce and heads out of bounds around the 13-yard line. That's where Shepherd will take over now with the lead. Travis, 12:45 to go, 28-21. What are you kind of expecting out of Shepherd? More of that power run with Rosnich potentially if they get into some good situations for it? It looks like Rosnich is going to start out on the field.
I mean, I don't know what more evidence you need. The past 2 touchdowns, he's been the guy in front that's been paving the way. So you know you need to run the ball now, especially in this situation. Fourth quarter, you have the lead. You need to eat up clock. You need to protect the football, and no better way to do that than to hand it off. And that way you're going to keep yourself out of those third and long situations where you're putting a lot of pressure on the quarterback to make a difficult pass against a very stout Edinboro defense.
First and 10. Play action. Morgan pumps, looks deep, near sideline for Cam Dorner. He got it. Trips up at about the 45, stays on his feet, throws a stiff arm. Dorner all the way down to the 35-yard line. Refuses bounds. Cam Dorner with a huge play, and that play has really been there all day for Shepherd, and they convert it that time. The pump and then look deep for either Dorner or Taylor. That time it's Dorner, and it's a big play for the Rams all the way down to the 35-yard line. Rosnich remaining in the game at the fullback spot. Taylor and Dorner, the receivers. Fisher, the tight end, to the left side. They'll move Dorner in motion. They'll turn around this time, give it to Brown. And Brown gets about a yard or 2 before he's brought down on the play. Coming up, making the tackle there, Diaz.
And not too often you see this Rams offense lining up in 21 personnel. That means that they have 2 running backs and 1 tight end on the field. They do it on first down. Again, you only get 1 yard, but guess what? You're still on schedule. You don't have to force anything at 2nd and 9. You can still elect to run the ball again. You're still likely to be in a third and manageable situation. But again, when you're able to run the ball on first down and get something, it just puts your offense in a much better position.
Morgan pumping again, looking for Dorner down the far sideline and incomplete. In coverage for Edinboro, Toby Klein. That will bring up a 3rd and 9.
I think it was a bit of a miscommunication that time between Dorner and Morgan. Morgan just went ahead and took the shot downfield, and it looked like Dorner may have throttled down a little bit, not expecting the ball to come his way. Rams were able to get that play earlier in today's game, but not able to connect on that attempt.
Could try to get something to Fisher or Batten going across the middle here on a 3rd and 9 for the Rams. Morgan instead dumps it down in the flat to Malachi Brown. He's got a good block from Wyatt Pelicano. Brown a 1st down and more, and out of bounds inside the 20-yard line. Shepard with the well-executed swing pass. It sets up Shepard to potentially extend this lead and try to put it away here against Edinboro. Still a lot of time, but 2-score game, you would feel pretty confident with how the defense has played.
And plays like that, they're essentially an extension of the run game. It's a high percentage throw, helps your quarterback get confidence. You're able to move the chains. You put the ball in the hands of Malachi Brown, and he's been absolutely dangerous so far today.
Morgan in the shotgun formation, 1st down and 15. Fake it to Brown, throw it corner to the end zone, incomplete. Looked like Dorner was expecting it on the inside, and Morgan threw it to the outside shoulder. Be 2nd down for the Rams, 2nd and about 10.
And that time, I have to side with the quarterback because he was throwing it where the defense was not. If he throws it in, that safety has a chance to make a play on the ball. Throwing it to the outside, that was just a difficult ball for the wide receiver to locate running at the angle that he was running at. But that was a good decision that time by Morgan.
Brown the back to Morgan's left on 2nd and 10 from the 15. Can get it to the 5 to get that 1st down. Morgan looking to throw. Pumps. Has all day. Throws back to the end zone for Barry Hill. He makes the catch. Touchdown, Shepard. Rams extend the lead at the 34-21 with 10:20 to go in this 4th quarter. Great job by that offensive line to give Morgan all day to throw, and they've held up well today, Travis.
Absolutely, and on that play, Barry Hill's been slowed today by some muscle cramps, but that time he was able to get loose, and like you mentioned, hats off to the big fellas up front. They gave that quarterback plenty of time to find that open target.
Bozick's extra point is straight through. Shepard 35, Edinboro 21, 10:20 to go in this 4th quarter. We will take a 30-second break. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
We're the Skinner Brothers. Most folks only need a lawyer once or twice in their lives. And when they're injured or in an accident, most people don't know what to do. We get it. It can be overwhelming.
Nobody likes to be told you need a lawyer, but that's why we're here. We want to get you back to your normal life and help you recover.
So if you or a loved one has been in an accident, give us a call. Let us figure out how we can get you compensation.
Reach us at SkinnerWins.com or Google Skinner Lawyers. We'll treat you like family.
We welcome you back to Edinboro University here in Edinboro, Pennsylvania. Our score, Shepard has pulled away. There's still a lot of time left in the ball game. 10:20 to go. 35-21. Rams on top. Seth Morgan connecting with Barry Hill for a touchdown. Travis, just some great plays on that drive. The big pass to Cam Dorner. Some good runs for the Rams. And
that swing pass to Malachi Brown, that was
huge
nice.
Play. And, of course, Shepard capping it off at the Hill touchdown. In credit to what the offensive line was able to do up front, giving Morgan a lot of time to throw. They have consistently been what we expected from the Shepard offensive line up front, as Bozick sends it away and into the end zone for a touchback. So it appears that that kick was intentional earlier, and I think it's a better decision to just kick it out of bounds, it appears.
Yeah, just eliminate that opportunity for a big play. If you can boot it out of the back of the end zone, do that.
So in total for Shepard, it's a 15-yard touchdown pass from Seth Morgan. And the Rams go 6 plays, 87 yards. Our scoring drive summary is brought to you by Paul Espinoza for State Senate in the 16th District. 1st down and 10 from the 25-yard line for Edinboro. Bernard looking to throw. He's under some pressure, steps up in the pocket, dumps it down underneath as he avoids the sack to Trobel. And he heads out of bounds around the 30-yard line. Good job by both these quarterbacks today for Edinboro to stay on their feet when Shepherd's gotten in the backfield for the most part.
And they're both pretty big guys. If you're looking at them, like we mentioned earlier, Carlisle 6'5", 225 pounds. Isaac Bernard 6'4", 215 pounds. So they're able to use that stature to shake off those would-be tacklers. And again, Bernard, his impact has been huge since he's come into the game. Just a steady force, just a steady hand on the field, on the wheel, and that's what you need out of your field general.
Bernard will hand it off. Good job by the Rams defense to string that one out. Looks like Pena came up and led the charge with the tackle. Matt Bednarski in there as well. It'll be third down in about 2. 9:58 to go in this fourth quarter. Shepherd up by 2 touchdowns. The Rams have figured some things out in this second half. Offensively, the defense has been strong all game. And with a 3rd and 2 and over 9 minutes left, a lot of time still left for Edinboro, but going to need to convert on this play. Might even be 4-down territory. Bernard takes the snap, throws, complete to Hopkins, 1st down and more. Pena forcing him toward the sideline before he's out of bounds. Grantham officially going to be credited with that tackle. It's a 1st down Edinboro to the 43.
Hopkins, just a difficult matchup. 6'3", 230-pound junior. Very strong and physical, but also has speed to make you miss in open space.
Bernard under some pressure, throws underneath, incomplete.
That was a smart decision. When you have a screen pass that's blown up like that, the quarterback just can't throw it away because you have offensive linemen downfield. So either you're going to get hit with an eligible man downfield, that's usually the outcome, or they may even get you with offensive pass interference. So when you're running that screenplay and it's blown up, you throw it at the running back's feet. So that was a good job, a veteran move that time by Bernard, just to throw it away, live to fight another day. No need to force it. You still got a chance to claw back into this ball game.
Pass intended for Dinkins underneath. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Bernard throws to the far sideline, complete to Stanfield, and he is dragged out of bounds, and it's going to be, I believe, a horse collar tackle called on Dwayne Grantham.
That was tough when you go up around the player's head like that. It's going to attract a lot of attention.
2nd down and 10. Grantham, as the game has gone on, has gotten the majority of the snaps at middle linebacker. Early in the game was really only getting the passing down snaps, but seems to be on the field a lot more now. Waiting for the official to give us the official penalty. I think his mic turned off, but looks like it was on that hit for Grantham, either a late hit out of bounds or a horse collar tackle. Sets up 1st down and 10 for Edinboro. .909 to go in this fourth quarter of play. Rams on top by 14 at 35-21. And Trobel into the secondary. Shepherd misses a tackle. Trobel all the way into the end zone. Touchdown Edinboro. The Fighting Scots are right back in it here with 8:57 to go. A touchdown run from Trobel of 38 yards makes it 35-27.
This has just been a heavyweight fight today. It's been punch, counter punch. You get knocked down, you get back up, you keep making plays. But right now, this Edinboro football team does not want to give this one away in front of their home crowd. And Trobel has just been able to gash that Rams defense right up the middle. They've been pretty stout, but that's one of the benefits of sticking with the run, because you're going to be able to get that drip, drip, gush, and you break that long run here in the fourth quarter.
Extra point from Reed Martin is through, and our score, Shepherd 35, Edinboro 28, 8:57 to go in the fourth quarter. We'll take a 30-second break. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Shepherd in a fight with the Scots. We knew it would be a battle when you're playing the Fighting Scots. Our score 35-28. Shepherd on top. 8:57 to go in the fourth quarter. Of course, the Edinboro Fighting Scots, a team that seems to have a program that is rising. We're 5-6 last year. And you can see, pretty good support for this program. Decent crowd over there. If you're not including the band, it's still a good crowd for Edinboro, especially compared to some of the PSAC schools that we don't really see anybody come out and support. Good crowd for the Fighting Scots here today as the Rams will take it, though, inside the 10. There goes McDowell. Out to about the 34-yard line. A good return. Again, the return game has been really solid for Shepherd.
And just good blocking. It looked like the Fighting Scots, they did a good job getting downfield. They were able to squeeze down on the ball carrier. But those Rams blockers on special teams have been doing an outstanding job today and just opening up lanes for those returners. So, again, special teams just able to make plays consistently here in the early part of the 2023 season for the Rams.
Edinboro goes 6 plays, 75 yards. They cap it off with the 38-yard touchdown run from Brian Trobel, his second touchdown run of over 30 yards. Shepherd running Brown here across the 40-yard line, close to the first down marker. Our scoring drive summary is brought to you by Paul Espinoza for State Senate, an effective, fiscally conservative voice for the 16th District.
That was a good cut that time by Brown, cutting off big right guard Ty Lucas, leading the way. And again, you're starting to see those running backs get a little bit more comfortable. The game's starting to slow down for them. And what you want out of your running backs ultimately is that you want them to set up blocks. And that's what Brown was able to do on that play. He gave a little head fake to the outside. It helped his offensive lineman because it made that defender commit to the outside. Then he was able to cut back and pick up a handful of more yards.
They get it to the flat to Jack Rosnage, and Rosnage has it across midfield. The converted D tackle on the play action pass. Now Rosnage slow to get up on that far sideline. Tough tackle over there on that sideline. Not certain, but could have gotten tripped up by the chains potentially, which is always something you have to be aware of when you're on the sideline. Is if you get caught on those chains after being brought down, can be a tough injury, but hopefully.
And looking at the sideline,
nothing too severe.
It looks like a pretty shallow sideline. Like there's not a lot of space.
That's like that Shepherd's.
Yeah, very similar to that. There's not a lot of space. So if you go out of bounds, you're going to run into something.
You do have the track here at Sox Harrison Stadium, so there is.
They have the track, but not much field.
Yeah. There's a little bit more room, though, between the bleachers compared to Shepherd on that home side. Or really on the away side, too, due to the track.
And that's unfortunate for Rosnage. I was about ready to shower that young man with praise. He had a couple big blocks earlier in the game that paved the way for some touchdowns that time. They decided to reward the big fella with a catch out of the backfield. He's able to pick up some yards after the catch. But again, the defender trying to go low. You don't want to try to tackle somebody that size up high. You go low and you're not quite sure. You don't want to speculate, but he has some help from his teammates to get to the sidelines. But so far he has had an outstanding game today, and you hope that he's able to bounce back and keep on contributing to this Rams offense.
Yeah, I mean, he's a crucial part. They do have a few guys on the roster that have similar builds, but you know what Rosnage has provided today. The good thing, I guess, Travis, is in this exact same look. Earlier in the game, James Bell came off the field. Didn't look good, right? And he's back on the field. He's been back on the field at center. So hopefully Rosnage, it's not as bad as it kind of looks when he's not putting any pressure on that leg. Hopefully just a cramp or something not as significant. Look to be checking out the foot-ankle area. So We'll see what it ends up being, but hopefully Rosich is good. And there's a pop, and the ball comes out. Malachi Brown coughed it up. Looked like a big hit from Toby Klein. And that is huge. Another turnover for Shepherd. Their third on the day. 2 fumbles and an interception. And this sets up Edinboro. I'm sorry, Shepherd recovered.
The clock's still rolling.
Clock is still rolling. I just saw the fumble and had thought that Edinboro had it, but Shepherd did fall on it, so that is good. That is not the third turnover, but I think it's the third fumble of the day. 2 of them recovered by the Rams. Here's a deep shot down the far sideline, incomplete.
That time, good defense by Darius Wise. Able to go up to the top shelf and deny. Was that Dorner going up top?
I believe so. Big hit on the other end by Ty Thornton. Seen him come through that line a few times here today. 7:08 to go in this fourth quarter. Third down and long for the Rams.
Man, that was a big hit. Goodness gracious.
It felt like the changing of the game right there, but it just ended up being recovered by Shepherd, luckily.
Again, I think one of the linemen recovered it.
Well, we talked about it last week, the way Brown runs sometimes. I mean, that one not really on his running style. Here's a throw over the middle, complete to Jeremiah Taylor for a first down.
That was a dart.
Third down and 11. Morgan steps up and delivers a huge pass to Taylor for the first down.
And Morgan takes a shot on that play. Ty Thornton again getting in the backfield, making his presence felt. But Morgan able to step up into that throw, face down the barrel of the defense, and that was a strike over the middle. And again, the Rams are having success over the middle. A lot of times, Edinboro's been sitting back in the cover two, making it difficult to get to the sidelines, but it's leaving the middle of the field exposed, and the Rams have been able to take advantage here in the second half.
Play action pass. Morgan throws over the middle. There it is again for sure. Oh, the ball came out again. Edinboro trying to pick it up, and this time they do. And the ball magnet today. Diaz coming out with the football. He had the interception earlier, and here he recovers a fumble.
The man's working so hard he's cramping up. His teammates just carry him off to the sidelines. Get that man a Gatorade. He's been putting in some work today.
Shepherd with its fourth fumble today, Travis.
And to start out,
two of them were recovered, but
you start out the year so clean, no turnovers, everybody's holding on to the ball. And then you come out here today, and it's just, and again, and it's nothing from like bad technique or they're carrying the ball in a reckless way. It's hard hits.
Yeah.
Like Edinboro, they're just putting the hat on the ball. And it doesn't matter how you're holding it. You're getting hit like that, the ball's going to come free.
This is a veteran defense. They understand at this point in the game, they probably needed to force a turnover, so they're going for the football, and Shepherd failing to hold on to it. After already having a fumble that they recovered on this drive, they give one away there. Bernard looking to throw. He took a shot from Baxter. It's underthrown and incomplete.
Man. That wasn't a bad throw. For the way he got hit in the backfield, his wide receiver still had a shot at the ball. The wide receiver didn't have a chance to see the ball clearly and make an adjustment on it, but he threw that ball up and gave Watkins a chance to make a play on the ball.
In coverage for the Rams was Derek Adames. 6:12 to go. And now the Shepherd defense will have to come through and get a stop. Rosnage over on the sideline trying to test out that ankle on 2nd down and 10 from the 21. Still plenty of time, so they'll run the ball, and Baxter came through again and blew it up. Muley finishing the play. Harrison and Bednarski as well in on that one.
Yeah, Bednarski did a good job. He was the guy that caused the traffic jam. And sometimes those interior defensive linemen, that's what you need them to do. You need them to eat up blocks and sometimes just create havoc. They might not get the tackle on the play, but they most certainly made the play. And that time, Bednarski, he was that guy. He was able to get back there, jam it up, and those defenders were able to come in and clean it up. Good team defense again by the Shepherd Rams.
3rd and 10 now for Edinboro. 5:30 to go in the fourth quarter. Bernard takes the snap, straight drop back, throws over the middle high and nearly intercepted by Miles Greer, but it falls incomplete.
That was a miscommunication right there among the wide receivers. You had Armani Bailey and Watkins in the same area. That should not happen.
Edinboro's had a few balls today that were nearly intercepted by the Rams. So Shepherd forces the punt now with 5:22 to go.
And again, this Rams defense just showing tons of resilience. They've been bend but don't break. They were able to turn away a team that had all the momentum on their side, able to get a big stop.
Greer goes back to return the punt. Reed Martin's kick is a high punt, and Miles Greer will just let it bounce, which probably should have fielded it if he could have, but it's a tough ball to field.
One of the few mistakes that the coaches might get on him about right there.
And a Shepherd football player, Amari Terry's helmet ended up at the 40-yard line. Not certain what caused that, as I was paying attention to where that ball was going to be marked down, but
again, that ball goes out.
Something's got to be called on that, right?
Marked on the
helmet ends up rolling all the way down the field.
Well, on third down, there was a little bit of jawing between Amari Terry, and Mike Watkins. So I don't know, it might have been something where that carried over into that fourth down play. But one of the few miscues for the freshman and Greer letting that ball go, it would have been a tough catch. I mean, if you're going to make that decision, I mean, you don't want to do something that's going to cause you a turnover, but putting your offense on the 6, that's pretty tough.
Miles said to me during his pregame interview he was nervous until he made the first guy miss last week, and then he felt fine on his punt returns. Morgan play action pass from his own end zone again, throws that pump fake, looking deep for Dorner, and what a grab! Cam Dorner. You didn't get Moss, Malcolm Johnson. You got Dornered. To the 40-yard line of Edinboro. That pump fake, which really, I don't know if it's faking anybody, but it's working.
Yeah, nobody bit on the fake. But Dorner was able to go up to the top shelf and bring that one in.
Cam Dorner, very impressive in his first game back from injury for Shepherd. A guy we were excited about heading into the season based on what we saw at the end of last year, and we continue to be excited about throughout the near future. Here's Russell on the carry, getting about 3 on the play. Malachi Brown's been dealing with an ankle. Russell has gotten his fair share of carries here today. Jester checks out. Batten checks in, so the Rams will try to spread them out a little bit more here on 2nd down and 7.
Right now, that play was led by Dustin Fisher. Did a good job of folding up and leading, but you see Rosnage on the sideline having that high ankle area heavily taped with his shoe all, so unlikely that he'll be able to get back in with only 3 minutes and change left here in the fourth quarter.
Morgan will hand it off to Russell. Looked like a miscommunication, but it ends up working out big. The Rams, it's a first down and more.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, because that action and that little bit of chaos in the backfield threw off the defense, but it was just enough to create a gap for Russell to pick up that first down.
3 minutes and 25 seconds to go in this one. Shepherd on top, 35-28, trying to get that clock all the way down to zeros with the Rams in possession of the football. The ball on the Edinboro 47. Batten going in motion. They'll hand it off to Russell again.
Oh, man, they blew that one
up. Coming from the backside to make the play was Spidgel. Ahmad Brown coming in there as well.
Braden Dunmeyer also in on the mix. One of the few times that defense was able to get into the backfield and really blow up a run play, but they needed to make a stop, and it's getting down to crunch time now, so that Fighting Scots defense going to have to answer the bell one more time. They want to give their offense a shot to get back into this ball game.
2nd down and 12 from the 49. It'll be interesting to see how Shepherd elects to play this. I think you're probably going to see a run on 2nd down, but potentially a pass on 3rd down if you get there.
I like that little swing pass. They've done it a couple times.
They've
done that a couple times so far. They like doing it to the short side of the field. It's a safe, high percentage play. It's essentially
the issue with it is there's no Malachi on the field right now.
Oh, that is. Nope.
No, he's back out there. Well, I guess he's continuing to fight through that ankle.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Could be the play that the Rams go to here. As Brown had not been out there, Russell was getting the majority of the touches here late, but he's back in.
Yep, they probably won't do it because they usually did the swing pass to the multi-wide receiver side, and this time he's away from the multiple wide receiver side.
Unless this is the trick.
Could be the wrinkle that they added in. There is only one corner out there. If Dustin Fisher's able to get that reach block on the defensive end, you might have a chance for him to make a play on the edge.
Morgan will look to throw underneath to Cordell Batten. Brown makes a great block, and Batten has the first down. That will work for a first down and more for the Rams.
And it's a very similar action as that running back swings out of the backfield and runs up. What he essentially does is create some space underneath. The last time, Dustin Fisher caught that pass underneath. This time they go to a little bit more of a speedy or option in Batten. He gets the ball, and again, like you said, a really good block downfield by Brown to create an opportunity for his teammate to get a first down, and most importantly, keep that clock rolling.
Coming up on 2:20 to play in this one. Shepherd by 7, 35-28. Driving into Edinboro territory, ball on the 33-yard line. They'll run Malachi Brown to the near side. Flag coming in, and Brown does get knocked out of bounds. So two kind of negatives it looks like it's going to be for Shepherd here. Just over 2 minutes to play in this one. 2:09. We'll see what this flag is. But I'm going to presume it's against the Rams. We'll see if Edinboro accepts or declines. The penalty is it could be second and long or first and long. Looks like the ref. Fisher called for holding for the second time, and they will accept the penalty, back him up 10 yards. Which seems to be the logical thing to do, presuming Shepherd is going to be running the football. And this will back it up to a 1st and 20 for the Rams with 2:09 remaining, up by 7 at 35-28.
Rams still have all three of their timeouts. Not so much an issue for the Rams. Edinboro still has 2 timeouts in their back pocket, so they're looking to get a stop on this one and having the Rams backed up 1st and 20. Feeling they have a pretty good chance to possibly get the ball back with a little bit of time left on the clock. Probably going to have to burn both of their timeouts to get that ball back. But at least they'll still have a shot to tie this ball game up.
Morgan looking to throw. He throws it underneath to Brown, and Brown is hit and knocked out of bounds.
Stop going to the short side of the field.
Coming up and making that play for Edinboro. A good play on that one by the linebacker, Zach Malpica, who we've talked about quite a bit in this one. 2:02 to go.
All right, let's see if they do that wheel again. See if they run Batten underneath again. Very
Same
similar
look.
Similar look than when they got picked up the first down previously.
2nd and 18. Clock is rolling. Morgan looking to throw. It's the same looking play. Morgan now going to take off and run. There goes Seth Morgan. First down. He slides to stay in bounds, which was a smart play by the veteran quarterback. Typically, you want your quarterback to go out, but in that situation, he slides down, avoids any hits, and gets a first down and keeps that clock rolling. I'm sorry, not the first down. 3rd down, as I was looking at the wrong stick. But a big run either way for Seth Morgan.
Because it puts you in a 3rd and manageable. And again, very similar play. And it's a tough play to stop because you have to honor that running back coming out of the backfield. You also had Dustin Fisher running that seam. So it's really pushing that defense back, making them respect that. And then you run the wide receiver underneath. Edinboro defensed it well. But again, like we talked about, but we were talking about Carlisle earlier, it is always tough to account for the quarterback when he decides to pull the ball down and run for it. And that's what happened on that last play. Edinboro was ready for that play. We saw it was coming. They saw it was coming. They made that adjustment. Great defense, but again, Seth Morgan calling his own number, picking up a big chunk of yardage on that play, and most importantly, staying in bounds, forcing Edinboro to use that timeout.
So what do you think here, Travis? 3rd down and 6. You could try to throw it, win the game with the pass, which may be what they go to do, or run the ball if you're stopped.
Same look.
Let's see.
If they go back to this play again, I'm going to die laughing, but it's been working. Okay, now they're putting in a wrinkle. Okay.
Morgan takes a snap, looking to throw for Cordell. Batted back shoulder. He made the catch, first down, and that should seal it. He gets suplexed inside the 5-yard line.
How is that not a penalty? How you dropped the guy on his head. How is that not a penalty? That's uncalled for.
But Shepherd does get the first down all the way inside the 5. Luckily, Batten able to trot off on his own power. He took some big hits last week. But, yeah, that just seemed unnecessary to suplex him like that. And Shepherd is going to run on somebody in replace of Jack Rosnage, and that man is Colby Strange, the tight end, 6'5", 220-pound redshirt freshman.
That was a gutsy call, an even more gutsy throw, and a clutch catch.
You got to do it.
Clutch catch.
They believed in Seth Morgan last week to drive them down for the game winner. This week in a close football game, you put the ball in number 9's hands. He delivers a big throw to a freshman wide receiver who made a mistake earlier, dropped the pass that led to an interception. And Shepherd calls a timeout with 58 seconds. So what ran that clock down quite a bit.
And this isn't so much a adjustment as far as X's and O's. It's probably a chance for the coaches to go out there and calm their guys down. They realize that, hey, guys, this thing is in the bag. The only thing that we can do to mess this up is to go out there and get a silly penalty. You realize things are starting to get a bit chippy here down the stretch. So maintain your poise, maintain your cool, and all we got to do is run out this clock. 58 seconds left, and you're able to get that second win of the season. And, again, this has been some fantastic Rams football to start the season. A little bit more excitement than what we're used to. Well, in a different way, it's drama. We've had excitement. This is drama that we've had so far this year with this Rams football team.
Hold on to the football.
Yes.
This is the other thing. Rams? Drama?
Oh, there we go.
There we go. The Drama Rams of Shepherd.
I see some T-shirts being made in our future.
I don't know if they would like that new name.
No. I'm sure the coaches don't like that.
Well, good thing is you can take a knee if you're Shepherd, but again, snap. You don't go under center very often, so this is, again, some of those things that may seem very little, but if you don't do it often, it can be difficult sometimes.
It presents its own challenges. You haven't done it so far today, so that center quarterback exchange is always a delicate thing.
Josh Bell is the center. Of course, Morgan, the quarterback, with 58 seconds to go. Morgan will take the snap, take the knee, a little bit of chippiness from Edinboro.
And you see, that's why you call that timeout at the end, because you realize that's the type of stuff that's going to happen.
And Fisher knows that it's over, so he's clapping. Flag coming in from the far side. And that's why also I feel like the officials should have taken control of the game on that suplex type play. If you throw a flag there, maybe then stuff like this doesn't happen. That's just not necessary.
I'm so surprised that, all of the referees didn't throw a flag on that play. Those are the type of plays nowadays where referees are, quick to jump on that and, like you said, put that fire out before it gets going. So, not sure why they let that play slide without calling a penalty.
But we have the penalty now as, again, this is just delaying what is essentially.
And you don't want the game to end like this. This has been an excellent football game. Nobody has any reason to walk away with their head held low. Close it out right,
Edinboro's fought. Want to give credit to them. They came in.
Toughness, resilience, great game plan.
Changed their quarterback, which was a gutsy move, but kept them in the game. And now we have that penalty coming in, and Shepherd again will look to take this knee. Of course, the Rams are always seem to be getting the chippiness out of teams late in games. That's kind of a trend.
That they do. When you end up on the winning side of things more times than not, you're going to spark some emotion.
Yeah, it's just how football is, unfortunately sometimes. But it's going to be a win for Shepherd, and no matter how you look at it, whether it be close or not, Shepherd's going to move to 2-0, which is what we expected. Probably not by this little margin of just 8 total points, but win is a win. And again, it seems like these programs have gotten a lot better. I think that's something that maybe we're overlooking, is just where you think about how last year's game went.
Could you think about the athletes that they have to recruit? These teams are recruiting players to compete with teams like Shepherd.
Yeah.
So you set the bar so high, you're going to raise the level of competition around you. So when you lose that much firepower, the way the Rams had on both sides of the ball, it's not so much that you've fallen back to earth. It's just that you've created so much competition that the other teams are just recruiting that much harder so they can compete with you.
29 seconds, fourth quarter. Shepherd again can just take the knee. And hopefully things have calmed down now on the Edinboro side. Obviously they're disappointed, but nothing there on that. Final kneel down, and the Rams come into Edinboro. Fight back, battle in a back-and-forth game to get the win, 35-28 over the Fighting Scots. Travis, what's your initial thoughts on this one?
Outstanding ball game, and again, the Rams are able to answer the bell going up against a tough opponent. They did not play a clean game like they did in the first half, but like we mentioned in that first game, sometimes they're not going to be pretty, and you need to be able to come away with tough wins. Again, they come into a hostile environment. That was a good home crowd for Edinboro. So they're able to go on the road for the first time in the season, hostile environment. They don't get all the bounces to go their way, yet they're still able to find a way to win. And that's what you want. When you lose that much that they had on the team last year, you need to find a new identity. You need to find a new way to win, and that's what you want with this new group of players out there. It's a new team. It's a new approach. They're still trying to find their way, but yet they're still able to go out there and find a way to get the win, and that's bottom line. That's what you want at the end of the day. It may not be pretty. It may not be what you've been accustomed to, but if you're able to walk away and still get the win, that's a good day at the office for the Shepherd University Rams.
Rams win at 35-28. We'll take a 2-minute break. On the other side of that break, we'll have the postgame show. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
This is Eric at Hagerstown Ford. Over the last decade, the way we buy things have evolved. Now, you get on your phone, click Want It, and it shows up at your front door. At Hagerstown Ford, it is that convenient. We've changed the car buying experience on the I-81 corridor forever. And with a return policy better than Walmart, there's absolutely no reason to buy a new or used car, truck, or SUV anywhere else. Just like Amazon, Hagerstown Ford will deliver the vehicle to you, where you are, and on your time. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. Why waste your time at a car dealership playing the dumb back-and-forth games? Besides, we hate it more than you do. I assure you, no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. will beat our price. No dealership from Chambersburg, Pennsylvania to Baltimore, Maryland will beat our price. And no other dealership will allow you to return it if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely provides the best experience at the best price. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience. Click on the vehicle you want and get your new ride delivered to you at no risk.
See dealer for details.
Ollie's VIP North Side is the best spot to catch all your favorite teams. Join us Monday for dollar wings and Monday Night Football, Thursdays on the patio for the cornhole tourney, Friday night lights with happy hour specials, or Saturdays during or after the college games for steak night. Get a ribeye or New York steak for just $26.95. Ollie's has great food and drink menus too, along with 17 TVs to watch any game of your choice from anywhere at the bar or their outdoor patio and fire pit. So stop by and see for yourself today at 36 Veronica Drive in Martinsburg. That's Ollie's VIP North Side. We'll see you for the game. It's the postgame show as we recap the scoring, bring you stats and analysis, scores from around the PSAC and Super Region 1, the Division 1 Top 25, and the latest on the West Virginia University Mountaineers and Marshall University Thundering Herd. Let's get it started as we go back to the field and rejoin our TV 10 broadcast team.
We welcome you back to Edinboro. Shepherd gets the win, 35-28 over the Fighting Scots, and a great ball game between these two teams. We'll get into the post-game show brought to you by the Palace Lounge, located on Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg, with a full lunch and dinner menu with daily specials and a clean, comfortable atmosphere. Check out the Palace Lounge menu on their Facebook page. Travis, good win here today for Shepherd over this Edinboro squad. And like we said, there's a lot of things that I think go into this season, and if you're disappointed as a Shepherd fan, you really shouldn't be, because this is a completely new offense. Edinboro was 5-6 a year ago. They competed with teams like Slippery Rock toward the end of the year. Like, this isn't necessarily a bad team. It's just Shepherd ran into them week 2 last year, and we talked about this during the break. Like, Shepherd's replacing 3 guys that had a shot at the NFL, and really 4. Walker had a little bit of time with the Ravens, so not that many D2 schools, probably no other PSAC school had that. So when you consider how many guys they're replacing from last year, especially offensively, and this team's still finding ways to win these games, and it looks like these other teams are a lot better and got better toward the end of last year, have experience, have played together, all that factoring in, you're not too surprised that it's been 2 close football games.
Absolutely, and we touched on it last week. Nobody has lost as much as Shepherd has lost from last season. So they have a lot of sacks that they need to replace, certainly have a lot of touchdowns that they need to replace. But the one thing that has remained the same, and it's been that Shepherd Rams offensive line. They were a young unit last year, and they kind of took their lumps early on. That was one of the few times that you saw Tyson Bajan getting touched up a little bit early on, taking some sacks. But I tell you what, they've been able to make that experience count for them this year, because they've been the driving force for that Rams offense so far here in the first 2 games. The Rams defense, they've been a bend but don't break mentality. They've been able to make plays when they need to plays, and you're starting to see a spark on this offensive side of the ball when they're able to include that H-back type player into the offense. It really seems to be the catalyst for this Rams offense to get some things going, and I think you're starting to see how the offense is going to get tailored more and more to the personnel that the Rams have available to them this year. And that's what you want to do as a coach. You want to put your guys in the best possible position to be successful, and no better way than to do that than to tailor things to their strengths, and you're starting to see that. This coach is unfamiliar with them. These players are unfamiliar with the coach, so as the year goes on, you're going to start to see a cleaner and a more crisp game plan. You saw when the Rams were able to go out there and they were walking off of that first half script and that second half script, they were able to move the ball down the field very effectively. And you're going to start to see an improvement of that as the year goes on. And again, enough can't be said about the Rams special teams play so far. They have really been the saving grace for Shepherd so far. It's been the difference in these games here early on. Those touchdowns on special teams have been huge for Shepherd. So you're starting to see more of a complete team where they're not reliant so much on the big plays. It's just that they can find that path where they can be effective and efficient, not so much by living by the big plays, but making those small plays. You always hear Coach McCook talking about it. You want to make those ordinary plays extraordinary, and I think that's going to be the mantra for this offense moving forward this year.
And I walked away from this game, Travis, feeling a lot better about Seth Morgan. I didn't feel bad about him last week, but he did seem a little less willing to make the big plays. And today he was going out, throwing the ball, being aggressive, and willing to take risk, and that leads to a really good final line for him. 24-35, 413 yards. That's 68% on his completion percentage. 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, not his fault, 52 yards total. And he has that nice run there toward the end to set up a 3rd and 6 where he completes a big pass to Cordell Badden.
And he stays in bounds on that run. That was huge. That's something that won't show up on the stat sheet. That was huge to keep that clock rolling.
15-yard carry on that one. Some other standouts for the Rams offensively. Malachi Brown finished the day with 73 yards rushing. Nazir Russell, solid day for him as well. 10 carries, 46 yards. Obviously, fumbles were a little bit of an issue from the Rams' backfield, but they can hold on to the ball. I think they found a 1-2 punch that can be serviceable for them, and it seems like Russell may be the better in-between the tackle kind of guy, but Brown has that explosiveness that you can't really coach, and I think that could be good for Shepherd moving forward.
And Russell, you could tell that he's more familiar with position, whereas Malachi Brown is still learning and the game's still moving kind of fast. Russell, he sees those holes in the middle, and he's able to put his foot in the ground and get north and south. I think as the year goes on, you'll see Malachi Brown starting to identify where there's going to be those breakdowns in the defense where he's able to make those plays getting north and south, because you look over at the opposing team today in Edinboro. Brian Trobel, He had no problems looking at those holes in the middle, and he was able to hit those things pure right down the middle. So as the year goes on, I think you can start seeing more and more of those type of plays from Malachi Brown. And he was huge there on that last stretch, getting out of the backfield. That's something that the Rams have always been good at doing, is using running backs out of the backfield. He was making catches. He was clearing out space for his teammates and making big blocks to make plays for his teammates. So Malachi Brown doing it in a variety of ways.
Cameron Dorner had himself a day. 10 catches, 201 yards, and a touchdown, the lawn of 52. Dorner, definitely a nominee for our player of the game. Cordell Batten ends up with nearly 100 yards on the day, 5 catches, 99 yards. For him, Malachi, as you mentioned, also did a good job catching the football, ended up with 3 catches. Jeremiah Taylor, 3 catches, 39 yards. Kind of held him in check, but overall a solid performance. And then on the defensive side of the football, you had 11 tackles from Emilio Pena today, including 1 tackle for a loss. Dwayne Grantham in his return, 8 tackles for the Rams. Kevin Kauser had a nice day, 7 tackles, a tackle for a loss and a QB hit. And JT Komayao, 5 total tackles, tackle for a loss for him as well. And then for the Rams, they don't record any sacks on the day against Edinboro. For Edinboro, it was a good day for them as well. Isaac Bernard comes in that second half, goes 10 of 14, 86 yards. They may want to turn to him moving forward as their primetime quarterback. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out. In the receiving category, Stanfield got off to a rough start but finished strong, 8 catches, 57 yards. Watkins, 4 catches for 18. Hopkins had a good day, 3 catches, 53 yards. And then 2 carries for 10 yards. Bailey, 2 catches for 12 yards in this one. And then on the defensive side of the ball, give the running backs here. First, Brian Trouble, 13 carries, net yards of 93, 2 touchdowns. Good game for him. Carlisle had 70 yards rushing. Hopkins had 10, and Dinkins had 8. Now on the defensive side of the ball, for Edinboro, Diaz had himself a heck of a day. 11 tackles, had an interception, and recovered that fumble. For Edinboro, Malcolm Johnson also with a big day, 11 tackles on the day. C.J. Wilder, 9 tackles. Braden Dunmeyer, 6 tackles. And a sack on the day as well for Edinboro, coming from Caden Spidgel. Just 1 sack given up on both sides of the ball. And for Shepherd, only giving up 1 after giving up 3 last week.
That's huge, and you see the reflection in the numbers that Seth Morgan was able to put up today. And again, you see this offensive unit just, again, moving in the right direction, which you want. And again, you got to look at that Southern Connecticut State defense. That's a pretty tough defense. They had some pretty nasty linebackers that were able to get back there and make some sacks. So, I mean, it's not so much what Shepherd wasn't doing last week. It was just the opponent had some really talented players on the defensive side of the ball.
Those are your post-game stats brought to you by Bechtel Jewelers, West Virginia's largest Pandora retailer on Route 11 South Inwood, taking care of you like nobody's business. Let's get into our awards, Travis, and then we'll wrap things up here from Edinboro. We will start with our electrifying play of the game, brought to you by Orsini's Home Store.
This was tough early on. It looked like it was going to be a nip-and-tuck type of game. Not sure where those big plays are going to come from. Then I got to answer in a big way. Malachi Brown in the second quarter with 4:24 left, a 100-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. That is the very definition of electrifying play of the game.
Orsini's Home Store, not just an appliance store any longer, located at 360 Hack Wilson Way in Martinsburg, or online at Orsini's.com. What about your collision of the game, brought to you by Cody's Auto Body?
Again, that was easy. Edinboro's Toby Klein, a monster hit there in the fourth quarter at about the 7:50 mark. It was a fumble on the play, but no recovery. But I don't know if you're going to be able to recover from a hit like that. Toby Klein laid the wood on that play. That's my collision of the game.
Brought to you by Cody's Auto Body at 851 Wilson Street in Martinsburg. Family-owned, offering superior customer service and great pricing for a job done by experienced, certified technicians. Call 304-901-4777 or visit their Facebook page. Next, we'll have our Good Hands Catch of the Game, brought to you by Kelly Allstate Insurance.
although he had many, it was one that stood out to me. I got to give catch of the game to Cameron Dorner, a big 36-yard catch in the fourth quarter in traffic. Had to go up, take a big hit, but it was just good enough for the Rams, the offense, to get a first down and able to put this game on ice. But my big catch of the game, Cameron Dorner. He had many to choose from, but that was the one that stood out to me, that one there in the fourth quarter coming up in the clutch.
Catch of the game brought to you by Kelly Allstate Insurance. For all of your insurance needs, call Gary Kelly at 304-263-4596 or stop by 724 Lakeview Drive in Martinsburg. Is your player of the game going to be Dorner as well, or are you going with the quarterback?
Going with the quarterback. You know, I got to spread it out sometimes. Could have given it to Dorner. I was really thinking about giving it to the offensive line. They played outstanding run game, pass protection. They really set the tone for this Rams offense. But when your quarterback puts over 400 yards in a game and completes 68% of your passes, that's what Shepherd fans are used to around here. We need those big numbers out of the QB. Make sure you start him on your fantasy football team. Player of the game, Seth Morgan.
Player of the game brought to you by Bodwell Insurance Solutions, a local professional to help you with all of your Medicare needs. Go to BodwellInsuranceSolutions.com or call 304-283-0864. One more point about Morgan before we wrap it up. First half, the numbers didn't look great. Came out in that second half and really balled out in the clutch for this team. So I think that's a good choice there, Travis, but definitely could have made an argument for Dorner. But I like the spreading of the love. It was a team win.
Exactly. You got to spread it around.
Credit.
Offense, defense, special teams, good stuff.
But that does it for us here at Edinboro. Once again, your final score, Shepherd 35, Edinboro 28. For Dylan Bishop, our cameraman, Kyle McLaughlin back in the studio. Of course, Travis Smith, our color analyst. I'm Nick Rosaline saying so long here from Edinboro. Shepherd gets the win 35-28. The Rams improved to 2-0. Edinboro falls to 0-2. Tune in to West Virginia football on Talk Radio WRNR beginning at 6 p.m. with 3 p.m. pregame coverage. Next week, we travel to Cal for Shepherd football. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. Have a good night, everyone.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How can I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm John Everson, private wealth advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC. Ollie's VIP North Side is the best spot to catch all your favorite teams. Join us Monday for dollar wings and Monday Night Football, Thursdays on the patio for the cornhole tourney, Friday night lights with happy hour specials, or Saturdays during or after the college games for steak night. Get a ribeye or New York steak for just $26.95. Ollie's has great food and drink menus too, along with 17 TVs to watch any game of your choice from anywhere at the bar or their outdoor patio and fire pit. So stop by and see for yourself today at 36 Veronica Drive in Martinsburg. That's Ollie's VIP North Side. We'll see you for the game.
I'm Jonathan Bodwell, Bodwell Insurance Solutions, your local Medicare and life insurance agency. We are here to help you navigate the Medicare maze. We represent all of the major carriers, and you do not pay any more to go through us than if you go directly through a carrier. But if you go through us, you have a local professional to help you with all your Medicare needs, not a voice that could be in some other part of the world. Bodwell Insurance Solutions, your local Medicare agency, BodwellInsuranceSolutions.com or 304-283-0864.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at WHMSystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, trip nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
The Skinner family has been representing West Virginians for more than 50 years.
We've changed the name of our firm to Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers because we want to be clear about what we do. We represent people who have been in car, truck, and other catastrophic accidents.
We're here to be a voice for the injured and vulnerable, and we take that job seriously with deep commitment to serving our clients wherever they are.
Just Google Skinner Accident Lawyer or visit skinnerwins.com. We'll treat you like family.
Welcome into the post-game Extra Point Scoreboard show on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube as the Shepherd Rams get the 35-28 win over Edinboro to improve to 2-0 on the year. A great win on the road for the Rams in Week 2. They'll head to California University of PA next week. Pre-game coverage at 11:30, kickoff, I believe, at noon for that one. But let's now take a look at some scores from around the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. As you see at the top there, our score 35-28. Shepherd defeats Edinboro. Still in action right now, I believe, with 11:37 remaining in the fourth quarter. It looks like Shippensburg trying to fight back against Seton Hill. Seton Hill was up 21-17 at the half. They're battling. It's 28-23. Seton Hill currently leads Shippensburg. A final score as Gannon falls to 0-2. Millersville improves to 2-0 with a 28-21 final score for the Marauders of Millersville, as Gannon was down 14-0 at the half, tried to come back, tied it up at 21-all late in the fourth quarter, but with 29 seconds to go, Millersville scored the game-winning touchdown on a 28-yard pass. Final score also, as you see at the bottom there of the graphic, Cal U comes back to win, and wow, what a game that was. Kutztown was up 20-7 at the half, kept that lead going into the third quarter, and then Cal U explodes in the fourth with 24 unanswered points to win 31-20 to improve to 2-0. Kutztown falls to 0-2. Let's now look over here and switch over to our other games. This one kicking off at 1 o'clock, so only one game still in action that you can see here on the graphic, and that is between Bloomsburg and Clarion. 5:17 remains in the fourth quarter. It's Bloomsburg 21, Clarion 7. Then kicking off here in an hour, it's East Stroudsburg at IUP. Kickoff for that at 4 p.m. And then at 6 p.m. tonight, two games in action in the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. It will be Westchester at Slippery Rock and Lockhaven at Mercyhurst. Let's now switch over here and get some scores from around Division I college football as some top 25 games in action right now. Getting ready to end, and it's been over for a while, honestly. 1:35 to go in the fourth quarter. It's number 1 Georgia 45, Ball State 3, as they just scored here in the fourth quarter to avoid being shut out by the Bulldogs. 25 seconds remain between number 5 Ohio State and Youngstown State as the Buckeyes up 35-7 and getting ready just to take a knee and end this one. 7:35 remains in the fourth quarter. Number 7 Penn State leads Delaware 63-7. So, Nick, you asked earlier if Delaware can outscore WVU against Penn State. It looks like the answer as of right now, unless things change, is no. 2:30 to go in this second quarter. Number 10 Notre Dame now leads NC State 10-0 after the long delay due to weather in NC State has finally concluded, so that's why, even though that one kicked off at noon, it's still in the second quarter. Again, 10-0 Notre Dame leads NC State. Minute 56 remaining in the fourth quarter. Upset alert as Baylor is clinging on to a touchdown lead against number 12 Utah. It is 13-6, but Utah right now with the ball. It's 3rd and goal at Baylor's 7-yard line. If you want to tune into that one to see if Utah gets upset, it's currently going on ESPN. 2:50 remains in the fourth quarter. It's number 15 Kansas State cruising past Troy 42-13. Number 22 Colorado, Coach Prime and the Buffaloes right now all over Nebraska 29-7 with 7:57 remaining in the fourth quarter. 12:22 to go in the second quarter. It's number 25 Clemson leading Charleston Southern 21-14. Then kicking off at 3:30 will be number 2 Michigan against UNLV. Number 24 Tulane taking on number 20 Ole Miss. Number 23 Texas A&M at Miami. Then at 5 o'clock it's number 8 Washington against Tulsa. Number 9 Tennessee against Austin Peay. At 5:15 it's number 17 North Carolina taking on App State. And at 6 p.m., number 18 Oklahoma against SMU, number 21 Duke against Lafayette. At 7 p.m. on ESPN, it's number 11 Texas. At number 3 Alabama. Texas Tech hosts number 13 Oregon at 7 p.m. At 7:30, it's number 14 LSU against Grambling. 7:30 also the kickoff for number 19 Wisconsin at Washington State. Then at 8:30 it's number 4 Florida State against Southern Miss. And at 9 p.m. UC Davis against number 16 Oregon State. And then 10:30 tonight on the West Coast it's number 6 USC hosting Stanford. So there you go as the first 2 games that I mentioned. Now final, number 1 Georgia defeats Ball State 45-3. Number 5 Ohio State beats Youngstown State 35-7. So those ones now final at 6 p.m. tonight on ESPN Plus. If you want to watch it on TV, is the West Virginia Mountaineers against Duquesne. Again, that on ESPN Plus. You have to be subscribed, or you can tune in right here on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. Not actually TV 10. My apologies. I'm just so used to saying TV 10, but only Talk Radio WRNR will have the Mountaineer game. As lastly, let's wrap things up here with high school scores. It looks like Jefferson was able to pull away big time over Spring Valley and I believe get a 42-20 win over the Spring Valley Timberwolves. So Spring Valley now 0-3, Jefferson 2-1. So that wraps things up here on the Extra Point Scoreboard Show. Again, your final score, Shepherd 35, Edinboro 28. The Rams improved to 2-0. Edinboro falls to 0-2. I'm Colin McLaughlin. This has been Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. Have a great rest of your weekend, everybody.
You've been watching play-by-play coverage of NCAA Division II football, featuring the Shepherd University Rams and the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Today's telecast has been brought to you by Smallwood Small Insurance Group, W. Harley Miller Systems, Chris Miller and the Dutch Miller Automotive Group, the Mary's Group of Ameriprise Financial Advisors, Rocks Local Markets, Parsons Ford, Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers, Bechtel Jewelers, CMA Honda of Winchester, Brown Funeral Home and Cremations, Orsini's Home Store, Hagerstown Ford, the Berkeley County Health Department, Modern Realty Results, and the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm. TV 10 Sports thanks you for watching today's presentation of Shepherd Rams football. All rights reserved.